means is that the 500 million, they keep that money and spend it in-house. So this 5 billion that we're talking about are monies that are collected, but ECG failed to declare those monies and decided to appropriate the monies and spend them. So when they do that, then power producers will not be paid, generators will not be paid, the transmission grid companies will not be paid, even the levies, which are statutory and passed by Parliament, will not be paid. And that is where you are having some of these major problems. And it's all because they are engaging in what I call very frivolous procurements. They have about 3,000 containers stuck at the port, generating demurrage of about 1.5 billion. That is unacceptable. Some of the things they've procured will last them 10 years. Some would even expire in 5 years. And so we've commissioned a committee to investigate ECG's procurements and the cause of these containers stuck at the port. And the committee is doing a very good job. So far, the preliminary report I've gotten indicates that there's massive rot at ECG. They do not follow procurement guidelines. They do not follow procurement processes. They do not conduct a needs analysis, and they just engage in brazen procurement. And so we are waiting for that report. But beyond that, there will be another technical report. What the PwC has done is a financial audit. We want to do a human audit, human resource audit, and a deeper audit of all the energy sector SOEs, which then gives us the clear picture and view as to the inefficiencies so that we can tailor that in terms of our policy objectives and policy directive to address this. But in the interim, I've issued a very strong memo to ECG, directing them to pay all collections into a dedicated account. And this month, I intend to monitor that. ECG must learn to live within its means. They came and tried to justify why they would want to withhold that money, but I've overruled that as minister. And the policy is that all these monies ought to be accounted for in a dedicated account. And even all those doing the initial deductions, they must stop that. In fact, from the back of the envelope, it sums up to about 250 million cedis. That's a whopping amount. We would not allow that. Let me make that clear. As minister, I will not allow that. And whatever it takes to break that chain, I'll break it. I've tasked the new MD to also set up a technical audit himself at his level to look at how we can do away with some of those contracts. Especially ECG being a covered entity, multi-year contracts ought to be approved by Parliament. And it's the same with MPA. They have some contracts that we intend to review and seek Attorney General's opinion. Those that we can do away with, we will. Those that we cannot do away with, we'll try and renegotiate and see if we can make some savings. But clearly, we will not continue with the status quo under my administration. And that I want to make very, very clear. I've called for details on it. I've called for a presentation. And I asked them, why do you need this software? It hasn't led to revenue increase. It hasn't led to any revenue assurance. And yet this company is taking so much money. And if you recall, in the days of opposition, we were fighting this contract. We kept insisting that it should not be signed. In fact, the MD came and assured us that it's 1.9% of gross. It's turned out that it is 3% of gross. And so even from information flow, we have a problem with that. That app was paid for by ECG, and yet ECG does not own that app. At the transition, they tried to migrate the whole system to that company. We're able to block it. And so all is not lost. I'm not against anybody. We want to ensure that there's value for money. We want to ensure that we do the right thing. We want to ensure that we protect the ordinary Ghanaian and the taxpayers' money. And so rest assured, we will tackle that issue. And we'll tackle that issue frontally and head on. I've briefed His Excellency the President and has given me full approval and authorization to move full steam. And that's exactly what we intend to do. President Mahama is very, very determined. He is very committed to local content and to Ghanaian participation. But we also want to balance that so that we can also get the needed FDIs into the economy in order to spur economic growth and ensure that we attain inclusive, accelerated growth. That we have an interest that maximizes their overall benefit, not just having the equity for the sake of it. I know some blocks that are owned by Ghanaians, and for some years now, no activity is taking place. It's a big loss to both that Ghanaian entrepreneur into the state. But if you can attract some men, which is in contravention to the policy, to the cash waterfall mechanism, and so far what we are realizing is that they've gone into so many contractual obligations. So many banks deduct their monies at source. They've just gone for what they call a super vendor. That super vendor takes 5% at source. They've gone for a certain payment app from a company that takes another 3% at source. And so, ab initio, you have a lot of deductions at source, which eats away almost a chunk of the money. So if you take a case scenario like the 1.5 billion, what ECG ought to do is to deposit all the money into a holding account. So all the 1.5 billion ought to go into what you call a holding account.
Right.
Then there's a cash waterfall mechanism committee, which we are reconstituting. The ministry is represented, Ministry of Finance, PRC, and then they would determine the formula to apportion the money. So if ECG decides to declare only 1 billion, what it means is that the 500 million, they keep that money and spend it in-house. So this 5 billion that we are talking about are monies that are collected, but ECG failed to declare those monies and decided to appropriate the monies and spend them. So when they do that, then power producers will not be paid, generators will not be paid, the transmission grid companies will not be paid, even the levies, which are statutory and passed by Parliament, will not be paid. And that is where you are having some of these major problems. And it's all because they are engaging in what I call very frivolous procurements. They have about 3,000 containers stuck at the port, generating demurrage of about 1.5 billion. That is unacceptable. Some of the things they've procured will last them 10 years. Some would even expire in 5 years. And so we've commissioned a committee to investigate ECG's procurements and the cause of these containers stuck at the port. And the committee is doing a very good job. So far, the preliminary report I've gotten indicates that there's massive rot at ECG. They do not follow procurement guidelines. They do not follow procurement processes. They do not conduct a needs analysis, and they just engage in brazen procurement. And so we are waiting for that report. But beyond that, there will be another technical report. What the PwC has done is a financial audit. We want to do a human audit, human resource audit, and a deeper audit of all the energy sector, a full approval and authorization to move full steam. And that's exactly what we intend to do. President Mahama is very, very determined. He is very committed to local content and to Ghanaian participation. But we also want to balance that so that we can also get the needed FDIs into the economy in order to spur economic growth and ensure that we attain inclusive, accelerated growth. That we have an interest that maximizes their overall benefit, not just having the equity for the sake of it. I know some blocks that are owned by Ghanaians, and for some years now, no activity is taking place. It's a big loss to both that Ghanaian entrepreneur and to the state. But if you can attract some majors and some big oil producers to partner with you and then spare up the exploration process and ultimately begin to produce oil, because that is what you want to do, especially as we go through this energy transition. We must pump oil as much as we can whilst we brace up for the transition period. And our emphasis more is on the gas, so that all our thermal plants, we can run them on gas, even if they are dual fuel, but with some buffer, in order that if there's a problem with gas, we can easily switch to alternative fuel. And from the records, in 2022 thereabout, we made a savings of about
Live on TV as well as and also on Power 97.9 FM, the hottest and the biggest conversation in Ghana inside politics near the Free City or 37 Abribuse Street, the heart of Accra, Osu, in all the 16 regions across the country, north, south, east, and west. This is your man, Atankulega Biga Mugabe Maase, the capacity man, sitting behind the console, and the 17th day of a year, February 2025, in the year of our Lord. Northern Regional Capital, Tamale, Kesmi, 107.1 FM, so and a Bole in the Savannah region. We are live on Nkiligi FM Y in the Upper West region. We are live on WFM Boko in the Upper East region. Source 100.1 FM Pusiga, Wingpang, Sampa Wende FM, Yakobono region, Tiny 90.9 FM, on Soko, Sansuna, Suma FM War and Kra and Quanta for regional capital go so Nananum 92.5 FM station with ambition. Eduno FM, was Sankore, ye both free one yako OT regional. You want 7.7 FM, Okete Krachi, KFM, Okpasa, and a Boom FM. So, a word Jessica voter, regional capital, ho, a global 105.1 FM. And Seminano, Yachitrin, the Aguyan website, www.myswazionline.com, Facebook Live Power 979 TV SWAZ Ghana. Samsung on your multi TV Digibox, Radio SWAZ 93.1, and Sema, Yade Ebro Nina, and Eviano, Nina, and Sema, Emo Edi, Papa, Tankulega Biga, Mugabe Maase, and they Magia Konya Cassiano, Obebacas, oh, Mugaya Ton Kache, and Tsunami home, a boy Juma, and Yajumani in a radio Juma, if you want someone to make and Fremama, not just a Makudi baby, I may boy Juma for Nina for the interest of this government, and a SWAZ, and Kanko, and a year bossa, a Jumani, and Mugabe, where Mugabe, Ewo. And today I want to set the record straight. I have so many things. Yeah, me. It is a one team and can't ever radio sua. Don't go and sit in any corner and say things are winning about me. Some Mugabe ma radio so ya bribe ya SMSB abrabon ya temsikabi di amano intina yantene kan ever radio no so. I have done this job for 25 good years. Nobody, listen and listen very well, nobody can bribe me, Mugabe. Sasa kwa hia kwa na omone na mo omone ba bribe me ombrabo ni omba bribe me o bribe me akoto fie na ama me ana o bribe me akoto ka na ama me ana o ma me sika ben. We shall corner, allow me. I have my family, and my family comes first in whatever I do. My family comes first. Without them, I'm nothing. Ejuma bebre ene da kwema ye toto ne yamase ye beye den ye beye. Ora eye na ejuma. I have been involved in so many niema ekoso in the system. Recently, a filter container. I have to lead a team to retrieve those items. A 100 coils of a high tension, a cables. Yeah, we are every tema. Edikobi warehouse. Our greater Accra region, Gan West to be precise. Ote Mugabe in Kawa radio sua. Now what can I say? And me person me can't wait for the last time. Sa kwa da ketekete na afi no mo fifi wo radio mu no. Sa wo ko office bi na wo kwa pay favor every that office wa. Don't go and destroy me because you pay favor every obi ho. Because me ko obi office. Me ko obi office. I don't move around. I don't go to people's office to beg for anything because I'm more than okay. So okay. And the SMS Temsika at the Mugabe and within the Antenica our radio no. Management is aware. Jemie Biano management are aware. Some my radio is due to ABCD. It started from vetting. So vetting air kwaswa. Me ba me kwa se me Mugabe tino no my bet kate vetting air kwaso no off. No my ba bet na TV so say vetting ye nya afa no my bet na so say me ba be ye adwuma. If I have my issues, do I have to come and sit on radio or TV and talk about my family and talk about my personal life, my personal issues on TV or radio? It's a one in Okoma will be including those within. They know themselves. Me di Mugabe Maase no esom bosini bibia e wo wiase mame. You say good name is better than riches. Ye di adwuma hye bi mo sa so omonye and they are not doing their work. Ano mo nam na konkonsa die na ye omo de. But wa won nam baby say Mugabe wo boni din and SMS IGP attempt sika bi di amano inti no ma radio so be very careful because nobody in this country can bribe me, including that IG. Nobody. And I don't need anything from anyone. I'm sending a warning to everyone today. I'm very, very upset. They should be very careful. I don't have the person's number, meaning any communication. I'm setting the record straight today. I've never been to his office, meaning he am communicating because I'm always on him. It is time to move on. I move on with my life. Radio or without radio, I will survive. TV or without TV, I will survive. My bobra. Yes, I'm sending a warning to those. Some of them are within, and they should be very careful. I'm really upset today. They should be very, very careful. I will not tolerate any nonsense again. I will not. I've been in this profession for 25 good years. 25 good years. Kami obibiji akabanda dana kwa yeno. Ye the 6 billion ebesi sharp filling station e wosua. Akwana na funu kese mi boni dia mo be won sans entune ni no. No odi o machi ewa ha. I have the records and everything on my phone. I've dared him several times. On to me PM Kasa because ba me en hofi. Into what was say, wo kwa akopɛ favor wo bi ho a, gese wo say Mugabe ansa. Me so meti me ba bi din a me dwene me ho. Me ne me yire ne me mate ba bi din a ya dwene ho. Na won nam na mo say nipa. Ene ye first and last. Ene ye first and last. Obi ani ni lem. Dampare can never bribe me. I don't need anything from him. Listen and listen very well. I don't need anything. I've not taken even a CD or a penny, not even 1 CD, and I don't need it. Me nyisika mekbakwa ko bu hoatan. Me nyisika fin ever in my life. I have to clear my name. Yes, my name is Atankolega Biga Mugabe Maase, a man with integrity. And one day, if you man, you're very careful. You fight me during daytime, I'll fight you during night. Yes. And you shall see. And let me start from Office of the Special Prosecutor. Kesia Jabin, fantastic man. MP before so I will soon. Ya no mo ya me nwanwa. Esu MP before esu no. Ya na eya me nwanwa. Abayifo so na omu so no ya na eya me nwanwa. Abaya de bo eya tachi no. Sa ba na ye de ba ya dan. Ye de ba bo ba. Abaya de bo tachi no. Sa ba na ye de ba ya de bo ba. Ah, mu ya fi chachu kata. Mu ya fi kwa me pepra. Victor Solomon mu ya fi. Honorable Agbodapi Mugabe Sabani for we. The useless ones in opposition. Afanya Markins and Co. Mugabe Sadia we. Acquire Mova so de Chatuchikata. First strike high court and then your firm office of a special prosecutor Muslo. Useless ones. Your firm Muslo. And your munya home. Debbie Amakasa on my way, mom. We are not serious. So my way is serious. Kaya who say Bimo, ya also Omaja Womajumano Moto Dame. Nanam social media. Womuja Womajumano Moto Dame. Kwa. Dame. No Maja Womajuma to one Moto Dame. Bosone Swani at your moka. Yes, they know themselves. Bosone Swani I near Tio Moka. Useless ones. Under this administration, the commander in chief, my friend, is John Mahama. The second coming way our bano. No further for all. Further for all be any baby. Had your money be mubi. And I'm happy. So Osafo Mafu, that useless caricature. Nebana or Osnetano, Masakeno. The all NC so Sam George Kudus. Mopamo Munina. He obiti a migration. Asuya ho. Yeah, friend say Bediako. A strong MPP man or no lobby so be immigration controller. I will have. You think people you don't know your records? You move say your name man. Those in the helm of affairs, our immigration service, no, you will be of distribution for more. The lives of Ayaba Santalimu, and you will be a record. But there could be in your corner. That your small corner be there. We know your records. And now that's sorry, ya. Paul Adomoti, Nimiaba. Where Bank of Ghana, a Bank Baba Sessan and said Tamiano, Yawasone de la Quaco a year Bank of Ghana. Nidino, Otin Society, who say, or ye Adomochi, Paul Adomochi, Nimiaba, and no. And why ye dean or show office or you go. Ube Frio. Sha Ayakayaka dia, Posiphobia firm. Ayakayaka Posiphobia, I interdicted one. Ayakayaka dia. Prison officers and peniphobia firm, migration officers and peniphobia firm, under the old useless administration, Akufo-Addo administration, where a BCBMO. Yes, you are clearly free and incredible. We see at Mugabe Maase. Mewaha. Yes, and Kanoforiata Wadane. Kanoforiata says, see, I would say the baby or you wanted. What you say, Kanoforiata Jane, you who may be a Kanoforiata. It is a nay, I'm office of the special prosecutor. Woman the Kanoforiata, Nandikala, Sadia necessity, Sadia necessity, Sadia Nipaduani city, Sadia Nitini SCT, Sadia Height SCT, and the Dinifonia Taraso, Sabapani Susu say, Wawa America, Nasa United Kingdom, Baby Obehuni Biano, Mabamba Fonia, the Entamni Tabrim. No more for Ghana. Way and an finance minister. Obegugu banks, Heritage Bank, no Guno, Royal Bank, no Guno, Unibank, no Guno. 1 year Addison. Hey, Namopa the say prosecution ya Juma, and I'm happy say Papa or modern I call a year Attorney General Hono, a year Honorable Dominic Ayene, Doctor, or be ye Jumani Bruta. Obeye Jumani Bruta, Dominic Ayene, Obeye Jumani Bruta. I'm a gun of fire day, and yaji. The man will work. Where you will be our integrity, where will be our credibility. Now Obeye Jumano. Obeye Jumana, my gun of fire in any day, Aji. Gun of fire, some come to yem. Under this administration, ye Papa John Dramani Mahama. One no any driver penny or tisti and any. Yeah, or bed drive on the acquire final destination safely. Yeah, my me a yapo na general Poquajaman. I am the vice. Near your honorable Jilo Zabra, agent number 5 Yeah, well, supply a chewani the defense what the wajiba be afano. What dada? Changes bia mo. So as a council of state to Yatua Berry. I know, sir, by watching a corner de channel, not swearing in a taking place. A better take place either tomorrow or Wednesday. Now, move your speed. Baby, I draw my den near my air to tuano. Move speed. I want to move say yes. You will fear answer. I mean, who you be also will apply common sense in whatever you do. The 3 Ds. One apply the 3 Ds. I will be obey failure. Determination, dedication, and discipline. The 3 Ds. We need to do our life more fine. You fail. Determination, dedication, and discipline. 3 Ds. And what do I want now? Say office now. Oh, so we are another appointee now. No, start writing your handing over. No, also quiet. Don't sit down for us to fire you because we are the other. So I'm not here to mention their names. More lobby no. None of them do but now. Now they tell this here the nipa. And this is here nipa. But me person me say James soldier for na no mutini fe no mo da so hwara. Soldier for na no mo ti James afia wa na mo de na che no woni boss ram no sa soldier for no mo da so odu ti wo James afia na that just want to know. Yes. And one you say aba ya de bo ba no and one ya de baba tachi o John Mahama appointees no munya very very careful. John Mahama appointees no munya very very careful. Man we say you to know more and I'm happy say me hu babu na yama no tumi a sababu no wodi tumi no wo tumi di ye bibi no wodi buachi mafo. That is the future generation. And ya guys asemo pieto wura asemo munya juma ni ye na kwanya Ghana for so to aba mai over a year 1.7 million votes difference no but mani su ba majo ma fa ukotena office na kwaya kaka ben sama hawaka pompous na peja ne nine me wuni me na me we massa wo be steady me ba na fa wi ama wo me konso am fa wi nko ya ba ya be pri bibia wo wi ase ya kwa na ya bibia ho ne yakọ. Be very careful in that office because millions of people in the same qualification wo ya dumbi na de wakọ kotena ba bia de wakọ kotena no. So wisdom mama nyame kama kuma kata asesa ne kro no munyi mfiri makwam hwe ma ye wo bia ya de kata asesa ne project tower wo bia gina was no Mugabe no. I've known him for over 20 years. Mugabe won't me for bribe on Tareno. Ubetimi akwase okwase me. And no they are granted who that opportunity. Go na dachi ubebu pasa ubeshia udifo. Yes. Di Mugabe ni yankwala di o Maase ba ni mi o. Yes. Uye bibia no very careful. Na nyawa dwen say won wo ye John Mahama appointee. Eti wasemba ye ba katasu o. Hey. Wasemba ebe katasu ye bebo ugumba ma wa ho ba woso se kura wato nsu nyinum to make sure say that office no ya we occupy today no a bi political appointment our expiring date na ebia na wini sa office obiem ba ebe fro se bebu akonta time no accountability time bi na to kan ofori atam no we still worship Unyuma be ye ni nyina wo ba be bu hu aten ekwaya over so awokwaji loan na yade sa bangi ne bangi kura amavo ha se yi o musika freeway data bank and enterprise insurance na SRC ya guno ne yi free ho commercial bank ho bank ya ko NIB ho ya ko I mean SM bank name the banks. Take it say if we are sitting in our yomodia. But we say power was expiring date. Papa bit nasi. Never upon your friend John Dramani Mahama. Obey a president. It may be a chem. A free 17th day of January 2013. Ekosi 7th day of January 2013. Ekosi 7th day of January 2017. Nana Juma Berry. Saba bane kwatena se enfie makoma konwatwe ama Ghana for sa so dey say saba papa na friend say John Dramani Mahama no wo ye wo bia eye nipa fufu bi nipa bofu bi na the corruption etage no na to Ghana fu bi trim but when nipa ma wo man ka bia ma no when communicators am wo man defend no at that time but Ghana for say atena se din hu say Papa is saying some more kafa ni wunyina na ya tro. Etia san kofa ne mra. Ama Ghana under the Fourth Republic of this country 1992 constitution no ye call a democratic dispensation kamema mikabi amemu no 7 January 1993 ebesi eni ye nto aba ama political party be atimi nya 2 terms in parliament. But for the first time, I see. And I sabe, sa wemo, useless ones for that. Don't prane afanya markets. Sa small boys no. Womonam ena no Ablikumanov, no government business, useless ones. If you nyans amu apply. Kofo bitnas ni ho ye fra ho say asin nof. Kofo bi wo ye from sal for You deny one more representative in parliament. Sal. Eti Ghana haya. LGBT kan sami ante. Kodu vati afeni ebisa Sam George. By the chief justice no or your above criticism ana. Obi ni wa Ghana ha. Was the constitution in Ghana no. Nobody, including the president, including the speaker, including the vice president. Obi ni wa above the laws of this country. And the James Ayedin. James Ayedin. Me dien this for when ya pa say soldier for mo James afio no mo da so ha medim ho ya pa. Yes, let's call a spade a spade. Show speed na joma ma memo no amemo na afe amemo no yakono e ya attractive. Ultimo say oman no ye resete Ghana ampa. Today Otumfo is talking about Black Stars. Timinu mi enu ni say Black Stars team na enye. Technical team na enye. Wobi aya fa coach adwuma ama no yakwa kofa ne so me technical director. Yetia no mokofa aya Chrisuti no mo so ye de so mo so ye technical hwan afi de bedu ya so ye coach. Mo now fiki once mafia se no mo go GFA ho no mo time aba wi ano no. Kofi Adams fire them. Share enei Mofa aya kanoforiata ino ntoso mami wa infonyi no. Wanted no. Thank you. Ti se bia bia be wo kanoforiata bia yehwehwe no. Bitima ma post fo ache no. Dia afenyo markets mo be ye bia omo enye. Omo enchai eye opanyi kwa me pepra mo. Omo enchai the late Victor Solomon. Ana omo enchai eye chachuchi kata. Such a useless caricature. Papa we wadi Ghana abro pa. Never again. Se Ghana for be kwa akoto aba masa ankofo funfuwi. No maba abusuafo ya baba bedi eso. No mama de Ghana akọ we cathedral kwa ho asem nyambai. You answer so many questions. Munyini freso. You useless. Shall Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Se who is Ghana. Oto na obisa say Mugabe. Hwe and now what investors na brofo no woman na eba. Woman na eba energy sector. Meti wakwa me phone kra me course me timi receive. Amafu free Canada. Amafu free hin. Oh minus a chief of staff papa. To niema ye president ni wa na vice president ya mame prof na je ye chire ye na chief that what they say chief of staff so e bona adwuma pepepe Rabu Julius Zabra nyame ya chire wa menti ase Dr. Callistus Joyce Bauer Sandogwe. Look at the team. And look at the ministers. What's the mean call beyond 60? Where any president I will bet in Agenedi. Yes. Ni media fe. Share uma guamanfo adwuma obi bia ni bank yeso ye 10. Agongo no on deserve so only bank because we asem court ni go ni bank na ton ye mani nyina Heritage Bank. And we back question you. Agongo akasa. So I say about funwe se Ghana 4 and 2 ma enka be kakra ho woni wo yere kura ekompa so a omo be charge wo adwene bone on mo se sofo so mimpa waka wo se Kufado ni tirimo de papa obi an de tirimo de bia wo na wo de hwe ne tikọ ne hwe ne moma so anda Kufado na administration na ahemfo ye forso ahemfo se omo sori enchia sabi abodam sem se free fa wokoka posi for better order from above ni abechew yemu bi de mate ya bre me miskin ho eden enti bibie ni wehunu na me wo wiase ba bi e ho den no aye kokuma se last round of campaign ye wokuma se hotel ayedem before see a be free studio ho atenga janchi be du ho no na pipi fast to me hotel when you be Mugabe so mobile ne se mobile no mugina ho na migina ho so de na mutimi ye oh me will fight me we am fight one ajo period spiritually strong physically strong me so but you wa beba be koto apacho and oba nanto wi ase abresa wo be din konkonsa sa wo life mu obeka nipa ho nsem sa wo ko wani mu da bia so meto blog o ka me ho nsem na meto blog sa na da bia wo nam na odin konkonsa sa konkonsa na wo di na me so meto blog obeba na ma ye busy na meto blog abresa na misi na wo na mu din konkonsa ka nipa ho nsem sa akosi jealous people. Now, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama oko Addis Ababa, the capital city of Ethiopia. Omo buildings no ewo yie pa asase ho ye din ho ntino udru Addis Ababa hofe pa. Tu kwan ko Addis Ababa oko hwede krumo maye ho yes. And in the African soil, ope baby a omo aviation industry no makọ manim pa Ethiopia. Over a year 300 aircraft plane over about 308 including cargos. So yes, training do your checks well, research it kind. Otra na okasa yi uti plane mo na wo check it plane do omo Ghana you need one. Ghana Airways you need one. About 4 kan tanta ya omakoi UP fu abusuafo women the Ghana Airways ade bia here bisika kakra be say ye betime de abo ama ade na yeyi no ne asɛn no ende ukodu Ethiopia na nsen Kevin beko ho obeko conference bi enche ewo Ethiopia what the airline we na beko what they saying Ethiopia Airlines na beko na wodru ko mo pa Addis Ababa ho na won se omu wi nsen no apake wo mo temak no so se be bia Ethiopia Airlines Ghana e play wo nyina ni asa presidential jet na asa Falcon 900 asa jomama wa bai we ache tofoforo oto a udi utem wi a de obeba no obeba be su we abre mo sesa no ne kwa ho hia yen mamutie de amanfo no beka ho o kwa ho hia yen o de me chata feska ne to na ma ye o man ne dia ni ehun se nwe no sa nwe fo no makote fe bi won se o mu be pia montana be kasa surumwa ende moko opposition munyanya 2 months master tisu he mo bebreu opposition tena ye 8 years kwa ya nye dede president papa no free he so mo Ghana ka charter flight na a team se wa bruni mu what you say ni dido wo play mu play nem pa wom cinema wom o ye useless president a wotwa moko o nwini Ghana fo ho papa wo ye friend say John Mahama no o wa komapa e de Ghana oh penifo ni onu abujilo zabra ni down hwede wi a o se de ni se gu nechi hwede wi a COP retired Kofi Boache hwede o de ni se gu nechi hwemu ntaka ni wi o de ni se gu nechi hweye maame prof na Jane na ka Bruce ne di akire no what was penifo o man ubidin konkonsa obebre beteso sa bidin konkonsa teso sa afeye tie de course we ewo ne keynote address ewo head of states and government breakfast dialogue of course so ewo AU commission His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
In financing sustainable development cannot be overemphasized. These institutions are uniquely positioned to address trade, investments, and development gaps across the continent. It is our responsibility to strengthen them to effectively contribute to the continent's transformation and the realization of our Agenda 2063. The establishment of the Alliance of African Multilateral Financial Institutions, AMFI for short, also known as the Africa Club, exemplifies our commitment to collaboration in order to achieve this objective. This initiative strengthens the ability of these capable institutions to advance the interests of member states in global finance and to advocate for homegrown solutions to the continent's development challenges. The support of AMFI should also be complemented by innovative initiatives aimed at fostering sustainable development. Innovation is key to the continent's progress. The launch of the African Virtual Investment Program, AVIP, by the African Union Commission is a testament to this. By aggregating comprehensive data on investments and related policies, this platform will provide the evidence necessary for informed policy discussions and decision-making. The platform is designed not only to attract investment, but also to ensure that such investment is deployed in a manner that promotes sustainable development and inclusive growth. Your Excellencies, accelerating the implementation of the African Union financial institutions, namely the African Central Bank, the African Investment Bank, the African Monetary Fund, and the Pan-African Stock Exchange, is instrumental to fostering investments and financing to achieve our objectives. By mobilizing resources, facilitating trade, and financing infrastructure projects, these can reduce dependence on external aid and create a self-sustaining economic ecosystem for Africa. The African Central Bank is aimed at establishing a single African currency, which will help to reduce exchange rate risks and enhance investment flows across the continent. I'm pleased to inform that the Ministers of Finance and the Central Bank governors have endorsed the draft statute of the African Monetary Institute through the Specialized Technical Committee on Finance, Monetary Affairs, Economic Planning and Integration. The AMI would serve as a precursor to the African Central Bank and will carry out essential preparatory work, including technical and legal assessments, as well as ensuring the implementation of macroeconomic convergence criteria. The AMI awaits further consideration and adoption by the heads of state and government through the AU policy organs. Similarly, the African Monetary Fund, the AMF, supports macroeconomic stability, which is crucial for investor confidence. The African Investment Bank is also pivotal in funding infrastructure projects such as energy, transport, digital transformation, while the Pan-African Stock Exchange is envisaged to integrate capital markets, making it easier for businesses to raise capital and thereby enhancing liquidity, promoting intra-African investments, and providing alternative financing mechanisms for governments and the private sector. Ladies and gentlemen, progress is being made towards the establishment of this exchange, with the Commission and the African Security Exchanges Association working on the Exchanges Linkages project. This initiative also aims to enhance liquidity and facilitate capital mobilization across African nations. We encourage more African stock exchanges to join this important project. Undeniably, strong political will and effective policy coordination are going to be crucial for the successful implementation and overall impact of the African Union financial institutions. The Republic of Ghana continues to champion and advocate for member states to embark on due processes at the national levels to expedite the establishment of these institutions, recognizing their significance in promoting investment and financing our Agenda 2063. While we have made significant strides, the journey ahead requires unwavering commitment. I call upon all our governments, our private sector, our civil society organizations, and development partners to renew their commitment to mobilizing resources for our continental blueprint on development. Let us leverage our collective strengths, foster strategic partnerships, and champion innovative solutions to bridge the financing and investment gaps in Africa. In conclusion, Your Excellencies, the Africa we envision, a continent that is integrated, prosperous, and peaceful, is within our reach. By mobilizing our resources, reforming our financial systems, and investing in our people, we can realize the laudable aspirations of creating the Africa we want, our Agenda 2063. I thank you for your kind attention. Your Excellencies, addressing the financing gap requires a multifaceted approach. Domestic resource mobilization is crucial. By improving tax administration and combating illicit financial flows and encouraging a culture of tax compliance, we can significantly increase our revenues. We applaud the African Union Commission for its proactive role in providing capacity building to member states at the continental level and advocating for fair and equitable international tax rules at the global level. The ongoing work on the United Nations Framework Convention on International Tax Cooperation is a critical step towards eliminating base erosion and profit shifting, thus protecting our national revenues. However, domestic efforts alone will not suffice. It is projected that African countries need to increase their median tax to GDP ratios by about 13.2 percentage points to 27.2% of GDP to be able to close the financing gap by 2030. This highlights the need for additional innovative financial resources and reform of the global financial architecture to ensure equitable and inclusive distribution of resources.
That was His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President Papa Wufi Nyansa, enye bakuna okunibi. With Papa, media mabana mabau, with Jabe Gumusa, na matter opposition, one my din. Opposition, mutra when ye din for Munyamai. Munyamai, one be before Munyamai, Mahunyansa Samakoka. Kufa do no call AU Summit, I know da. United Nations, or Kwan more da, or Dasa Hati, no, was swan and no, what, no good anymasi. Or call Kansempa. Or Kase wote sha mbafu investors see baby and no better say EU ambassador aboy a year what they say Western Housing Ministry no honorable Kennedy omakodi nkomo and obo say John Jinapo no shamro free will be about chess environment near very conducive for investors here ama obia person oba invest e Ghana. Turkish for omo free India, Lebanese for ubi a person be invest e Ghana. What you say? Say President Wufi Nyansa aba. President awonye vindictive aba. President awodo ewotima edema Ghana for waba. And the man nidin any John Dramani Mahama. Ene Honorable Saidi Agungu. Papai for 8 good years. And the papai ejina court. Tene general we buy you say to do be ejina court to fie nwotwe. Na also what evidence pa wo be jeli ni pa na kan fie nwotwe ni pa ne da so na. The bank ni oguno. And we woman not bank no board of directors bit say the late eye Kwesibotwe. Penifo kuku dan. Ye omuda bank na no. As board of directors yes ye guno cause any others any ken ofuriata amo sankwasfo we kura amo say ade pafatam Sedu Agungu akasa fantastic brother, business oriented. What a business I say when you see can first can say what the bakwa UAE akwa invest ho what you saw the bet na Ghana ha what be banks na Ghana for mebunu enye nyuma aye eguni bank no eton the bank no nyapade nyina Honorable Sedu Agungu yeti no
ya no at a particular age no so prepare say one day maybe do be uni ho now you know I bet anything akoso tina me pe corporate institution as the menya board woni me die kra amana koso it me twene wa na bank be similar because Standard Chartered banker over 100 years Oma mo sha sim crowd no be mo humbo but bank no Barclays at the same thing and already people back idea bia na generational thinking bia no e sha see feel people back Kwame Nkrumah na Oshé Bible ma Jesus Christ ana Oshé Quran ma Muhammad ana e sha see feel people back o promote na be gina amanfo aso na afi okokra na se be oni wa pastors for so didi o preach o can say pa Muslims so o preach sanity ti me no say let me start a bank me share bank ase because the basis of every economy who call Singapore in a financial institution financial institution is very very strong and very competitive and anything that I call bank now we dream say we be a bank now it will best stay for 150 years to 200 years that time we in an call afofro and a benefit and I see the papa near obedua on tenase oba betenase na that's the papa enti sana me nso ade ehunu me te ma be heritage bank me be no international standard the shop work is everything was prim and proper we can prim and proper that is the board members me father Dr. Kosibuchi no a board chair or the longest serving finance minister and now Osha would didn't who knew as I see so much all fan home for you be a enye before one a shabo the background a fish or a receiver no a former governor of Bank of Ghana or no so no a board member before Benson or we now we not nasi and my mitch rare woman is what you the bank in the shop and then you prana men busu ni be any rightful
very well so here papa we you wa bre pa ono Dr. Seminopuni o ma bre kan u fori ata bank kura ye sa bank no achim for bank ni dey data bank na mu data no way abe bokro no sa na ye hwehwe wa wadwane ana afenyo markets mo kan sebe nkwase asem afenyo markets ana mo kan sebe nkwase asem say enti ase mahama yare ganso apology na mahama yare ga waso manwan operations na eba so ne de enye se ye kwachi obi anase ye bowura obi fi a na afi na mo ba be na hwan ne abia na esanfu awe mu di ye no hwana o mo apologize to amount for cars akofo we o mu invade o mu homes any ade sesa amount for cars na mo ba ko do ahun se car no kura no enye aman car ye to ne esa de ko message o mu ye bia o se ye o mu bi Yomi ye be yo mubi me la cruises no magibi me ahun man fa post for kura nchesi akorofo ya gre wo madru media presby school me chesi wo sa ono mo bowura school ho me ko an obi antembi me bowura inside na ka ho car ya 2022 model ni ya sesa car na color black no ya white ama chassis number no wo ma pepa chassis number na yeden afi ho ichire mo wie mo se yanko odesai yekọ wura garage na ekọ trasen kasa nam se he me yam brabo mi o enu tina me ka se wunnim Mugabe na wunnim ya na wunnim yam brabo me lead wo mu straight. I called the oral team from Jubilee House to Median omu isu 90 minutes na soldier for na dru hodada hand car no over to the soldiers. The car is now at Jubilee House. Yes. Monitor woman. And just na ya adwuma no nyamia. Mra eye adwuma. Ma wo bi tena ne ba bi ne soma kwa na bi na wanya adwene say system no nya adwuma. The system is working. and maybe an actual system in your now the system is working. We don't need your money. We did some for a becca who opposition be a kufado now appointee. Start preparing, leave that office and try answer. Now the Council of State, Yamia do much and I swear in Chamunui. Mamma to office and I'm more say, Yamia did the who could bui authority. And some four equals so some ketua. And I confonded associations offices and almost sabotage system. No, Massa. And now Her Excellency, Lawyer Zita Benson, or a former ambassador to Czech Republic, former tourism minister, former information minister, Mobatenka, and Mobate Alessa Tahiru Nelson, so enka. Tama Edri, Menumi no yapom de hu hia. Sa doctor na friend said Dr. Amponsano. Saka yen sian wo sabre mu a. Ko ma ye bebre. Me platform we. Say program na 3 to 6 me be me wi a papa mapon. Yes. Precious ni de be yes ah. You best support the system no. Et na won twa say appointment mra san wakoya adwuma ho. What buy na what power? Appointment nye obia ne betimi anya bie. Man twan ansa. Sajo mama be mo appointment ansa na wo bibi pa bi ba ye de aboa na wa ye de aboa no. Don't sit in your comfort zone. Yes, amemo no 4 years. And then I would di ama, e kina wo de beba, ebi mu di yaw ene ade no. Sorry kwa ya adwuma. Dr. Amponsame mu akwaba. Abenyi na bibia bokode.
Amen ado Mr. Mugabe.
Amen shirawo.
Onzo sawo.
Onya okese.
Amen.
Ene de na wo man.
Medase, me chiatiafu nyina, me den de Dr. Amponsa. Me ka abribia jesoma me se wayare safi. Ehia me pa. Se me ka se Dr. Amponsa na waje so ama me se wayare safi. Se Mugabe ama memre se mene mbɔ nkɔmɔ idie na menim se ene eye ogye da emawo ebribia meta ka se enipa yenkwa ehia ne santi se wo ye nnwuma pa ayaresa eka ho enti ya Mugabe ne bre no ode saa tamoyi ama mene wo se wo tie di program no a ɛwɔ se ebribia onya empomden ne santi ya Dr. Amponsa makofa magic machine ede aba na mede boa ewiase nipa nyina eno ti sa wo yare da fie na wontumo nante wo da fie wo gi pains bi chese etete wa brabo entemo a to America bra Dr. Amponsa Herbal Hospital wo ba mesa yare na ho atɔ nyankopɔ ama metumi a mede sa yare eye madwuma eye masede se wo yare na aye osu ne areho aye koda na ne dadwen no mensa yare na wonso ontum nya adwuma mboa oman Ghana. Enipa biara wo yare da fie ebia wa yare wode yakra de wo ye obi a nante yakra eden ma wo mayem faunto friendsen yem faunto kam na yem famra spentes Kosa Junction unya dru Kosa Junction hono a busa taxi station na wono say wo hwe Dr. Amponsa sa wo de Uber anase Yango anane yakeka hono ne beba eno ane so obebo Dr. Amponsa Herbal Hospital edo beba straight abedru me hospital ho na onso wabeje wayaresa obi wo se doctor medie ne se me yare ekuro ewo meridie num nanso me hu se ebia yare ne din di sei anase wo ba ya so ya ye wo mfidie ho ye de behwehwe onipadua no nyina ebia na acid eko onipadua no mkese ena ehaw ebia na ekuro ena aba onipadua no ena ehaw eno na ama wanya ahohyehye honam yaw ene ne yeka ho abroni ka bibi se burning sensation ohonam hyehye yie entamo abra na eno kra de 20 minutes na saa ahohyehye nyina ajai obi wo se doctor manya pains machika sei misisi ka sei mimu eye miya pains severe saa nipa no 20 minutes na pains ni nyina ajai eno ti e friend magic machine enya same ka magic machine na yanya dro ho ya dro pa na ansa na no ebi nipa biara se pains wo ho anansa blood cells no yare ye eho adwuma na se ahoɔden ɛba ɛwɔ sɛ yɛma okuraduro na ekuraduro no nso ekum kuro na ɛwɔ osese no mu nyina na ahotɔ kama pa obi tie me na wɔ se doctor media no saa ekuro na wo kan kora menti ase ɛwɔ a misisi ɛne meto ase yɛfrɛ no sciatica saa sciatica osteoarthritis ɛna de ba pa yie saa as sciatica ɛyɛ yare bi a ɛsɔ wo nan entini na ɛya nso yie pa woto ase hɔ ɛna ɛwɔ ɛkyewa ɛnyɛ easy severe pains ankasa ɛna obenya Dr. Amponsa me the magic machine aba bra na be ye free na me hode abrewa ene akokora ebe bobo ewo Dr. Amponsa Herbal Hospital me se abrewa ne akokora mo be bobo ewo Dr. Amponsa Herbal Hospital eri se wutie me na wo severe pains mo ma me mo papa wo tifie na oni ahoden se obetumi ahwe ne ho kakra ama mo nso mo akwa adwuma na otete mo yare no mo mfa no mre me na me mana hoden na nyame ama me tumi na me mmoa no na onya nkwa na onya hoden na watumu ahwe ne ho so na matumi akwa adwuma ama mo nyuma akoyie obi tie me na wose doctor me de me wo yare bi ye friend typhoid no obi wo so awo onim ma me nkyerɛ symptoms we ye wa that chese wo hwehwɛ typhoid ɛwɔ symptoms bebree ɛsene yare ahodo bebree sa typhoid chewa symptoms ya obehunu ma me mbɔ kakra so enkyerɛ wo ɛtɔ da obehu sɛ wuti paa wo ɛhɔ na okon agene wachika sɛ taa ya wo ya omfe ata wo yam ebubom wani so kyinu ɛtɔ da na ɛyɛ wo sɛ obewu adebɛkye na ate hɔ ɛtɔ da wunya constipation ayamtim ɛtɔ da so a na ɛsɛ wafa afaduro na ɛyɛ mu ahwie kakra typhoid yɛ yare bi a de betumi akyew ama wo fiefo wo ankasa wakasa wo fiefo na ɛyɛ wo nanso nye ofie ni bia na ɛyɛ wo typhoid saa na tie ɛna last na me ka wo ha sɛ typhoid achi obi ama noa na kyese na busuamfo se oyebaifoɔ na sɔfoɔ se oyebaifoɔ nanso typhoid ɛna achi maami ma na ɔmo money pɔso no typhoid che no a ebetumi ama na kasa oyebaifoɔ me na meku asumasi me na meku asumasi sɔfoɔ yi se ka na wakum bebree wakasa enipa yi obi a obɛkae sɛ wawu wɔ ne kurom bi ɔse wɔ ne ku no sɔfoɔ se aka baako mami ɔte wa ɔse ɔna ɔkae sɛ awurade yesu awu ɛna ɔse me nam ku yesu sɛ asɛm asa typhoid fever akye maame no a yɛse ɔyɛ baifoɔ maame no so ɔna kum ya kokum awurade yesu ansa na ne mma no hu sɛ maame yare na ɔyare na mmom ɔnyɛ baifoɔ ene yasa maame no yare ma ne ho atɔ no enman panimfo no omunya money pɔso no yare bebre na tum kye wo mu a because ne sesam no nyina da ne bema ye no enya adwuma ketowa eno nti se wotie mi a bo so oba no nya 40 45 50 to 60 ho a kyase ne ho ya homote ama wa hwe kora kyase hu se de ono ne betena fie enya ono system no da ne bema enti se wotie mi na wo sa typhoid ibia ntemu a bra na yemu a wonsa yare obi wo stomach ulcer peptic ulcer chronic ulcer gastric ulcer no do so bebre ni nyina ye kuro a eku wo ankasa woni padua no nyina ye kuro ekuro na ewo wo yam no etete wese wo oni ma papa bi ese no na typhoid moa no etumo makuro eba wo yam pa na se wotie mi na se wo ulcer bra oyam no ses no ewu ache yare na ache wo ba ye the machine no be collect ses ni nyina na ya ma okura duro na saa ulcer yi afiri wo so obi se mi wo bp a ye frɛ no mojaboro so ana hypertension yare ba ko ni din bebre de ati nyina ne saa yare no metaka bribi ya se doctor no mo waduro se bp aduro busa de se de na de bp no ma o se wa hunu adekura ma o bp a yare no be ka o so wa faduro chase wo doctor kra se wo faduro wo nkwa na nyina na fufuo mpo udi a eno brana ya muwa na ya nhwehwa adekura ma wanya bp na men solve adekura no ma woni bp biem wontini mu sisi a obipi bɛkɔ soro ye biebie ntini no ma wa obipi bɛba fam ekuro ba wontini mu obipi bɛkɔ soro ye kum kuro no ma wa obipi bɛba fam sɛ wakoma laaji a ɛyɛ kɛse a obipi bɛkɔ soro ye korete akoma na obipi ne bɛba fam sɛ woyɛ obi a wotie me nana sɛ BP tete na wotifie dia menua hwehwɛ Dr. Amponsa Herbal Hospital na ye mo ya onkrofo bebre wo diabetes asikyire yare nanso wo monte ase sɛ diabetes na enkoda unya gina papa yie anka ebekɔ diabetes eba wo so a kwan efa so bani bibi wo yam ye friend pancreas no na dwuma ne sɛ o de insulin ya dwuma ma wo but wo de no me kyerɛ wo o pancreas no wafa duro sa ma duro na de da pancreas no sɛ wotie me nana sɛ wote sa abra Dr. Amponsa me ho wo ba me de machi besu yafunu no so na ma koleto pancreas no na ma aduro papa na fe pancreas no ho atono ho tono a one diabetes biem West Africa nyina me ane best diabetes enti sɛ wotie me na ma me mo number no na frɛ me na aso beti asɛm wa na e kakra bi me say me was Spinters Coastal Junction taxi rank wa busa wa mo sɛ o hwe Dr. Amponsa o de uba nso a but Dr. Amponsa Herbal Hospital ɛna won so a wo Kumase ye wo hwim Tigo Junction taxi rank wa Dr. Amponsa ye wo hɔ nso je numbers no me bɔ no yie pa na wafa no yie sɛ de ebe ya ubetumi afrɛ ɛya memmusa sɛ wo de sɛ na beba hospital ɛno de me mpɛ sɛ obɛyɛ ne sa hospital ye nyane sa me yɛhwɛ wo nwie na wo nkwanti a yɛte hɔ ma me mo number no ɛyɛ 0243 11 08 75 0243 11 08 75 me say yes sa number no so biem 0243 11 08 75 Tigo line no so ni 027 85 99 611 027 85 99 611 ofre na ye busy a sanfre na abenya yen Mugabe nyame nshira bebre yare a menye ho aduru ane cho de ye wo ba ye ntomo mo se enye cho na yare biara akuti a no hwehwe Dr. Amponsa Herbal Hospital nyame na nye so bejo nkwa
bada say doctor ye bada ho simeti o ma fa abo afon krato ne yaba ye ba ye besan atoa oja no so ne excellency lawyer Jitabense betenase na Lester Nelson so betenase me ba sisia
Mesi menananu aguru basa abi bragro tibedu emlenu na ma premaye hojo.
As for me, I take very good care of my grandkids. Ye di agro na ye sa eduru mre bi kra na me ba no ti me de omo be gumi so weekend no.
Hey, wo mle
Hey, eno nti na me ka kire o say ya no medi garlic capsules. Poso nyina ebesisi so kama. As I stand here, my doctor said my whole system has improved very well.
Medi garlic
capsules. Yes, Medi garlic capsules.
Oh, sa na te pa dia. Mama na otu me yesa.
Medi Moses garlic capsules. Wa mamoja di nipaduane mu afurusani yi na esiesie oba ne barima ma hona hoden. Ubenya edro yi bi ato omanyi mu pharmacy store frɛ yɛn wɔ 050 349 4885. Edro yi enya mamofra enye ndi mfie dumienu. Apemfo ene emma emanofo. Medi Moses who ni how FDA agidwe di nkra to yi ato.
Upon your arrival, you are introduced to your butler, who plans your itinerary. So many activities, all in the same premises. Visit the gym or the stables, they have it all. At my break, I'm able to practice my putting. they used only electric vehicles here. This creates a serene environment. I'm told it's over 1,000 acres. My cabin here sits on 2 acres with a large terrace space overlooking my private swimming pool. Now this is royalty. They have their own farms, thousands of fruit trees. I can also have my lunch here at the waterfall. Quite a beautiful place you have yourself.
Na ede na ya obayi a oda forma so ne yafunu mu emunumuni.
Oh Mr. Entry also yare ya tete be ben fie pi nanso ne yam nyono da se me chew no ahodo amato a me hunu hwe a ebe ya nwanwa.
Menyi ni se water ulcer tamfo hexa capsules any hexa mixture yanum bom kutia ulcer no bia ma no anom anka ne ho ato no dadaada ulcer dro de eno ani hexa capsules any hexa mixture
ankom ni nkyeremu
ulcer yekura eto yefunu ene ensunu mu etumi a wo yefunu ekeka wa wogire ho a enye ulcer etumi ema wo ye cheko ebra wadidi awie so how eye ulcer de a compare hexa capsules any hexa mixture nanum bom na ho ebeto
pedudu atu a ko okanshi drug lane Kumasi Dani Herbal Takradi AA Mensa Anafre 02038228855 Apefo abatan a woma won mofra no fo ene mofra woni mfiedum ye no enka ho Haxa capsules ene ne mixture
ulcer tamfo edie age edwadie nkratoyi atom.
The serene environment fits into the goal of the school, which is simply to provide excellent educational foundation for your ward's development before they commence primary education. At first glance, clearly you will see why the school is called Hebron Hills International School, as the building stands tall overlooking town. With a Montessori style, we have experienced and dedicated staff and trained teachers. Our small sizes classrooms are meant to enhance teacher-focused approach where children get one-on-one attention from the teacher. Hello there. We are open at 7:30 a.m. and school closes at 2:30 p.m. After school care is from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., while early drop-off can be arranged at 6 a.m. Hebron Hills International School is located at Midye off the Nsawam Road. Locate us with GP postcode GW0688 GA West and GPS code 06884870. You can contact the school and make further inquiries on 050-876-2375 or call the office directly on 0302-918768. Email us at hebronhills.school@gmail.com. Hebron Hills International School. Excel and shine.
I just checked from the port, and the security report I'm getting is that a container that cost about $500,000 is imported. ECG is unable to clear that container. Some way, somehow, somebody is able to buy that container at auction for 100,000 cedis, bring it into the open market, and resell it to ECG as $300,000. It will stop. And I mean, it will stop. Whatever it takes to stop that, no matter how unpopular that might be, we have to take that decision and stop it. Either than that, the system will collapse. When it collapses, nobody would survive it. So we have to do something very drastic, very drastic. I just checked from the port, and the security report I'm getting is that a container that cost about $500,000 is imported. ECG is unable to clear that container. Some way, somehow, somebody is able to buy that container at auction for 100,000 cedis, bring it into the open market, and resell it to ECG as $300,000. It will stop. And I mean, it will stop. Whatever it takes to stop that, no matter how unpopular that might be, we have to take that decision and stop it. Either than that, the system will collapse. When it collapses, nobody would survive it. So we have to do something very drastic, very draconian. right in opposition, we kept insisting that the system was inefficient, ECG was mismanaging the funds, under declaration of their revenues, and involvement in so much procurement, unplanned procurement, some of them unbudgeted for, and that is what is culminated in this problem. On assumption of office, I asked for the first month report, and what I got to know, to the shock of my life, is that ECG collects about 1.5 billion, and of that amount, about 500 million is not declared as far as the cash waterfall mechanism is concerned. So what ECG does is out of the 1.5 billion, they keep 500 first before they move in to take some more from the 1 billion, which is in contravention to the policy, to the cash waterfall mechanism. And so far what we are realizing is that they've gone into so many contractual obligations. So many banks deduct their monies at source. They've just gone for what they call a super vendor. That super vendor takes 5% at source. They've gone for a certain payment app from a company that takes another 3% at source. And so, ab initio, you have a lot of deductions at source, which eats away almost a chunk of the money. So if you take a case scenario like the 1.5 billion, what ECG ought to do is to deposit all the money into a holding account. So all the 1.5 billion ought to go into what you call a holding account.
Right.
Then there's a cash waterfall mechanism committee, which we are reconstituting. The minister
live on TV as was and also on Power 97.9 FM. Inside Politics, Jumedi, and our so go so with you. Cover from Krato, Sabri, Yasi Kunya, ya, Baba digest issues in Sema, and a DSC, as in Prince, you have a Sem, a B. A Canuforiata, Sabri, what the clan wanted. Say, baby, I'll be Shiani be a Nanikala in Amodia Baba Tuja, sending in a cocoa cra. Na baby I'll be Shiani be a to me. Citizen arrest go to me. My police for Chino Bona Bongo near the Nebagana. Na special prosecutor Enyen Huejuma. And call for answer Yana Mudiable. To the beer Mudiable. To a baby ye. See a stop Mamusi Munyai. Oh, Kawe hopes in a stop you in a bed in Motokai. Here my hopes in 1 month to pay without pay with the hotel. That's Uncle Foy in a more moment to coin. You can say, oh, slow down. Yes, Anna, a buying a penny above for the young woman, you know, Johnny. Kufad na kwa wagana. Woman, you know, Johnny. Share gift you a worry. What did your mama tell son why you cron for? Ghost names, our National Service Secretariat. And an abimo, your Mustafa, Yusuf, sports minister, a former sports minister. Chrono Kwan about says be Chrono Kwan about our National Service Secretariat. Now we are quite be now majority leader. Midamanya Yasa the Anadia, a Janidia Maso. Honorable Mahama Yaga Basoto Kasumaye Basi. So slow things, no. Okay, apologize to who? Now the majority leader was Mobi. Richard Japam won our Suma. We should allow the system to work. We'll be any dear or parliament here. Being there and do your work and allow other institutions to also function. Some of the money a two will be an outfit said it will be our down for and he apologize. Apologize to who? Call Honorable James Ajenim Boatin. Aban Sesayano, Womu Boran Fee. Yes. When mama for sofa. Me aban sesa massive fear ewo Kumasi. They storm there. Omo kofa cast makuma ko fall. Take sesa cast no. Me cast. Omo to cast ni na ko Appointees police station. Within 3 days, omo sa to cast ni na ba back. Ntino omo nim nyansa se omo ba ya check se unu saka na nya aban cast. Adabe na aban was start car a saloon Ford any ade eba gan ha. Dabe na ban sate so okai tata ene Toyota hesne ade abagan ha akrofo we aba bedi o man we yawu akrofo we ya chuoma ye kwafo asan apologize for what munya sade ene ye ayetiana me onime se Vita Solomon oyare ye chesi no chachichu kata asori ya mu nyina na ye chesi amafo kwachi wo mu ene de bowura kan ofori atafia ne wanya sabe kwakwahwe akafo bi te se anodon prem ene what they say anodon pre ene papa we de oka hu ye friend say afanyo market hwia kai MPP na agu onti ka mo be mpinifo mo be di MPP anim e wo parliament kofo MPP na ni hwia kai ICG fo na mo wonsa wo no mo tena wo sa dumso no the sabotage no is still in the system. George Napo make sure say sa we mu no transfer wo mu nyina anodon pramo ne ma koso dumso nyina ake akye say woni kofo na ye one de koso nyina mu ni mu bi eya no kura na yes papa ba ku bi wo ya fa ne say anaman wo wonsawam anaman I will fire you today anaman I wonsawam me my house me 3,200 me so enye koso na me ye wo fie enye koso anama enye koso na me wo fie o me ko me tede abra me in the area no me tuache wo bia in the area okoka so o echina ye baba be he for energy commission for bia no mo ye wei ye china baba be he echina baba be he na foreigners ye travel wo de ne abaya foreigners for the amount na wa we timemoni no ye se Mugabe de won tiasa anaman I will make sure say you will be transferred from that area. Yes, Safuna moten sawam ho ECG Safuna moten ho amodie no we make sure say system ne be ya adwuma entra ma ya power na say de kwakwahwe akwabe de na kwatena office na NDC for ne say sofa bi mu no. Yes, say do baba ton sawam ho na mo make sure say sawam ho no mo be sabotage system na system ne be ya adwuma wo bia wa ya wadwene say wo be sa adwuma ma mamu obia no we make sure say we transfer you and I be fire without fear or favor. Take it or leave it. To me pacho ya bro. Ya brand ya di abaye no yeti mochimo kanjo mama na jude suom no abu Julius Abramo Valerie mo ene Dr. Kalisto so ene minua ba otimi chai SLC lawyer ya Zita Bense mo anaju 2 am na jo mama nam no campaign power na ba ye masabe kwahwe akwabi atra ECG office no sabotage system no yema kwahwe akwabi enter office bi no sabotage system no. Yes, enei meters amode bae kotobe kumba ba meters no awase George Napo make sure say mo ba hwehwem nyina hu say yetimi tua ba wo metimi trafie as former vice president na light na yetua no de atetia ne say I mean company bi wo as kan koguma ba wo mia ewo percentage ewom no saneti amonye hwehwemu yenim yisi fo mo ye adwuma wa na wo transfer wam say we in charge of meters na ma for meter problem wom ya report a na mo yimani wote wa be hu ani abebra obi fie ni aye ne de ama no na wo Mugabe ni titiro de mo dimani wo sa area ho sa for over 8 years and anama no ti say yisi je wona out na your papa japade mu na wote ho you are joking. Me mamu 24 hours mama se meters no as soon as possible me see entra power to say the opposition ye die ni ate emre ni nie go to the other houses and check some neighbors am no mutia no so me so mutia bill say me ye cost akwaka o boss ya be ba be hama Sunday na monam yesi for ya juma Sunday. But Sunday, every Sunday, they will come and patrol in my street to make sure, say, will be an illegal connection in the area. But make sure, say, when you watch you will be removed from where you are. George Napo, fire them. Honorable Mwakwaba, you have a cordial. Fantastic. Good names. Kind of Oriata.
Yeah, easy.
Nimbe bia ode me best start here and sana let's answer abem.
Oh, okay. And the certificate.
Fantastic. So why a former ambassador? Sena a year juma Interpol, I mean educators send a system no send a working say bia will be at the bonny will maybe near per se send the panel your chili free sour man or also on say baby or hide in either UK or America. Can overata won we are bekasa ni ente won kan.
Thank you Mugabe. me say ye nyina ye nim de eko na maminka bibi kakra wo ECG4 ade na ukaye no. In fact ECG4 they are taking the pace. Meter no minim de ba umiade ba ye no. Eno atumi ma on the bill epe. It's supposed to be prepaid. Inti say prepaid eni se me de ka wo so. Che se me mintua min to light e wo se me light ni ko off. Na Mugabe min kan dada wo. Me to light na. It doesn't show on the app.
Is a company needing is a Huptel.
Huptel.
Is it Huptel, right?
Huptel.
Fantastic. I'm for him.
I mean maybe o mufi ba mate say ebu amuya
and yeah, that's what power.
Aye.
And yeah, twice a year. To say about the two about no more issue state ECG phone or issue statement. Say yento in SS.
Aye.
Okay.
Yeah, me kai pa.
I just about me I could tell you and I say I will benefit.
I almost say and a hona me problem ni start here.
So I will not be surprised say we munim the
almost say omo ye software update. Inti yento for a month supply. Inti me de bear 4,000 cedis ekogu ma de no so.
40 million.
Me ka trel. It didn't show amba app no so it me feel say software update na enye Ghana nka minim say software update the whole system shuts down in any case me go so and from there no app no doesn't work. Every week I make it a point say at least me the 1,000 ebegu so me the go so Mugabe it does not read credit na me the begu because me minim say pay as you go it say pay as you go it's a minto lighter. I shouldn't even have lights on. Now after the minya wo me app no so no say me to it won't show say makoto credit. Now to say last week na made 1,000 go so and I pay me sorry no omo the negative 5,000 e wa ha say 5,926 e wo me app no so say medica. You so me light ni so. Enti sisi anu pese me hu say me meter no postpaid o say prepaid o mon kana mi hu na mi jai weekly na me to no serious enti sisi anu me ko light na em say 2 weeks ago the same thing happened omo ma me bill of negative 4,000 as 6,000 and am tuaye another negative me every week me tua o me to so the me to no it doesn't reflect. However no they have given me a bill of negative 5,900 hina ne ko tua sa sika no because so far as I'm concerned no I have all my receipts there and what I'm buying is not reflecting, yet you are giving me a bill and I still don't understand the English of prepaid and postpaid. If it's prepaid, what I buy should be what I use. I shouldn't be owing you. It's easy before you better set up because you are beginning to become very annoying. And I know so say more discount or hopper I say more than 83 million billion Ghana cedis and omwedi omo divert according to auditors general ECG
for me kasa me lady police team from Ajin Kotoku to one of the areas in Gan West. I have the videos here. I will show everything to you. Let's give thanks to crime officer our Ajin Kotoku police station one in the team no DSP Minero. Ahomachi 4 a.m. na 8 fita container and saa we no quiet no lady amode twen high tension mako akese mako 100 and we ye omo investigation na embossment no ebo government of India to ECG Ghana ni adavete ade ne koyegu obi fie ewo be mo frɛ baby pass and garden ahomachi and police for the idea say omo minya quick ana me ball national security mpanifo amane ana me ball ora team no so amane quickly ana mo be fa car no back to baby a ode niam ane yeden omo de niam ane free ewo tema and I spoke to John Jenapo and John so make sure say omo de niam no akọ safe place ewo national security warehouse. These are some of the
honestly Mugabe, what is going on is an overflow of the corrupt Nanado Bawumia government that the John Mahama government has inherited. And yet na se na sure mukan you know very soon they are going to target us a John Mahama problem because say me say ya bring me ya say me deka every week me to light is not reflecting but almost I bring me bill say me deka me light that's one because if prepaid to my understanding if I don't have light I don't have credit my light should not be on. Wow. And see these are the issues. It doesn't make sense.
I went there myself me concern and that ana mine in the team no omo ne metra se me no omo ye dedede oho omo ne metra se omo say there be
it doesn't make sense.
Something wrong. Bills no old ones na me ko ye nyina na say 1 month no omo calculate a 20 bia metal light ni bia omo teme
ai
na just say me na omo aba fese ye no say bia 100 Ghana ne gusu a say woto a ukoto fofra ne ate ya ne Ghana no we the time bia meto bia no say meto 1000 Ghana
see that's what's happening to me
ana mine ne ko 40 someone please no mudi meter phone enam no mo so meter John Jinapo make sure say meter senior obese nyina na ko phone no mo sabotage system nyina fire all of them.
I agree with you John, Honorable John, you have to do something about it. The ECG meters and the software
position ni afenyo mo na still almost
afenyo was the boss I say yada so na igwabonti there's a lot of stealing and corruption ongoing there and people are complaining, the consumers are complaining. And see, Honorable John, please, we don't want this MPP problem to be transferred onto a Jomama problem. We should nip it in the bud as soon as possible. And ECG, I don't owe you. I buy electricity every week, so you better correct it before I start going crazy.
Thank you.
Anyway,
Anna Maswati will be so dear Okama. So be steady one someone more. Fantastic. Any more mo nyina men kan na man ko na in charge of meters. It na me boni din no. Bo mo maka ho nyina obi a make sure so be na me meter ne de mo pom se mama 24 hours. What some obesesa. Yes. Maba be take details ni ade nyina about 3 weeks ago.
Yes, Mugabe, yes new meter na wo ka ho asem no kra. Yes e we sin odo ano. Yes eno de ekoti said I ba omi ade no. Yes e copper uptel no. Yes yes e copper it say etwe pa nti all those ones must be removed from the system because your brands are in sika. Nti ya ba power na nkofo ya ba power na nkofo complain say meters no very very bad now. We have to do something about it as soon as possible.
No haptel no change no says can no the tete say koba wo me ho won tena opposition mo wia mo tena opposition was Adam ya wasi wo musi a wo ma wia ye ko ha na nkrante ne nwi ne gu ho no yi ho no palugu dam no ho nsem kwa wonya me ansan ane di yasa begigi ska wo chire di ama no PDS na no mo namu ano wo mo enjoy no oda wo ma fa me kokeno for you
honorable Ken on say ewiase wa ho ewiase sisa o Mugabe ewiase wote ewiase I was say wo ye papa I was say wo ye ni papa na uja good legacy. Bible says that what shall it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his soul. And ubi na ato Ken Oforiata no Ken Oforiata baye omo taote no as a Yale graduate. So we say later cry be who no Achimota school transcript and not just a 9 in chains, but somehow no he managed to get to Yale. Only God knows how he found his way there. And the results of the 9 in chains we saw from Achimota school was what we saw when he became the finance minister. You also saw how badly he handled the economy. And see, Ken Oforiata say Oyari na we took wine. Special prosecutor also say Osheno, wanted man, dead or alive. He's wanted to come and answer questions on about 4 projects that he has his fingers in. And I don't see why, say if Ken Oforiata is innocent, why he should running away from the special prosecutor. The answers that the special prosecutor is looking for is with Ken Oforiata. You see, Mugabe, at a point when Ken Oforiata was seriously ill, he left his position and went to the US, I think for a liver transplant or something. We all saw him. He had swollen face and everything. Nyamincha ade otumi koje treatment no back alive. But even at that point, Ken Oforiata did not run away, even at the point where he was seriously ill and needed a new liver. Ken Oforiata was still in the country and held on to his position as a friend is saying finance minister. And minim yaria worse, say liver transplant no occur through. On to member back to Ghana. I mean, Ghana prosecutor, no, I believe that he's not going to keep him here forever. He needs him for investigation. And see what Betina say, Abia, 2 days, now your interview, you give your answer. Now you can go back for your whatever treatment. Whatever treatment. And then they say Assembly Maker say he needs to come and answer. He has his reputation on the line. And you know his people are saying that Bakubi Amiti your friend is Nanabina, Sani no fat guy no. Or say here special prosecutor or no for plane enko landing. Now uncle interview your friend is saying Kenoforiata were landing, and I find that very ridiculous. Somebody who has been accused of stealing money, engaged in corruption, share $58 million now Kenoforiata the share as I say National Cathedral ni muno waho $58 million no anka etumisi 38 million po tumisi hospital Emma, like even a specialist hospital for Kenoforiata to be getting his treatment from Ghana instead of going to US or to the UK to go and get treatment now that he is sick. As finance minister, how many clinics or hospitals did Kenoforiata build? But today that Kenoforiata is sick, Kenoforiata is abroad in the US or the UK, wherever he's hiding in his rat hole, getting medical treatment. How about you and I? Mugabe, would you have money to go to the US to go and get treatment? I don't think so. And teacher said, Kenoforiata ebugana for kwasia. Wasai sikano, eno onu yare no, sikana wewiano, odibiako, eno odikwa kwasano hu yare. So these are the kind of leaders that we had under Nanadu. People are saying, yegu Kenoforiata enimasi by declaring him, in fact, yegu Ghana enimasi by declaring him wanted. What do you want to know? Wegu Ghana enimasi. It happened in Nigeria. There was a finance, I think it was a female energy minister. Or no, so Orieska, she was hiding in London. Omuko by Emma Nibestandi trial. Say engu friend is saying in China, when you engage in corruption in China, the sentence is death. And to say Kenoforiata are engaging in corruption and stealing. How does that affect? In fact, it raises Ghana's corruption index. Say Ghana, the government of Ghana is actually fighting corruption. And see, Ghana hasn't disgraced anybody, or the country hasn't been disgraced because special prosecutor. Who is he? What Victor Solomon ended up in prison. He was not a finance minister, Victor Solomon. He was sick. Deputy finance. They locked Victor Solomon up in Sawam, even though he had a heart problem. The man ended up dying.
Yes.
The man died. How different is Kenoforiata from Victor Solomon? Anani Dino is different. He has to be treated special, and Victor Solomon is from where? He doesn't deserve any better treatment. Kenoforiata, you are wanted. You have to calm down. And you asked about the process by which he should be brought down. I mean, the Attorney General must file the processes. Has to start there. Now that he has been declared wanted, Interpol must come in. They have to file red alert and give it to the various. Say Attorney General, file processes. No, you can't just go and bring him down. And see, Interpol, they'll have to bring in Interpol.
Baby omode na ni kala ni bia ntinu se wonam land na bia wo sia no Dawson market ana say East Street market wo sia no Tottenham ana Camberwell Green ana wo sia no Lewisham wona Manchester na ho no Liverpool Coventry Bristol baby abehu ni bia America for so na Washington DC say Massachusetts say Boston ana say mo New York Bronx and the pattern no mo ko see o mo no mo tape New Jersey on it ono ya no match check sa areas ni nyina ahwe ti mo Kenoforiata wo de hwe nanim yi na mo ma ne mo no apa ni ti no na wo de ne otade ne sa eso na baju se yi pa nti sisi no see ya no was special prosecutor no enajuma.
Yeah. And see, what he has to do is that he has to let the Attorney General file the processes with Interpol. na Interpol the bema all borders na the ama almost when the receiving country gets the information, then they would then give it to local police, because local police can't in the country that
America you
local police will be the enforcers. And I mean, once they get the international alert, it will be on all borders. Or crossing border, there will be needing bemu anani for paper anani biometric popina needing copy up pay. There will be a red alert. And I know they want to be pa border biya. But then if you want to enforce it now, the government must give it to. When you give it to the government, let's assume he's hiding in the US. So they give it to the US. They give it to the US government, and then the US government, whoever is in charge, they have to give it to find where he is. So once they find where he is, then they'll send local police. They'll give the local.
Easy to get to know.
Oh yes, it's easy because I'm sure you must have entered an address at which he is going to stay. And see, I mean, well, the US is big, but they can still find him if they want to find him. So then the local police would go and get him and then bring him back to Ghana.
To say now we are feeling family, everyone.
Feeling it. They are feeling the heat. Power no more enjoy now more feel heat.
Power expiring date.
Power expiring date. That's why you have to treat people nicely. That's why when people are telling you, say, we are hungry, things are not going well, you listen to them. Look, people died. People died under Ken Oforiate's. There's blood on Ken Oforiate's hands. When you take the bond holders, pensioners, omode your friend is saying, omode omusika akoshe investment mu. Now, Ken Oforiata, you are determining, say, me first can when it matures, I'm not going to give it to you now, but I'm going to give you in the year, fairness, I'll say in 2037. 2037, some of these people have died. They didn't get their money. Some of them even needed the money to buy medication, Mugabe. They needed the money. A whole former Chief Justice, Sophia Akufu, had to go and sit down there in the sun, protesting, asking for her money, begging for her own money, because then she bought bonds with her money because she had faith in the Ghana government. Say, when I invest my money in Ghana government, I am going to get my money when I need it. Ken Oforiata say on Tibida or mamu haircut, mumusika mupeno. The people who died, the bondholders who died, omu blood ewo Ken Oforiata answer. Ken Oforiata is not innocent. The MP, in fact, you know the funny thing, there are some MPP people who are even happy that he's a wanted man right now. I've seen a few posts. Almost say onunkwa nediye. Nti onunkwa nediye dia onunkwa enye he should face the music. What you say? So even the grassroots of MPP, they felt the hardship under Ken Oforiata's rule as foreign minister. Finance minister. And they are not willing to even support Ken Oforiata for what he did, and they even blame him, say, because of his harsh policies, financial policies. That is why the MPP is now in opposition. So they are not even willing. The MPP is not even willing to support him. Ken Oforiata, you are on your own. You better come and answer the questions. And yes, the embarrassment is just, it may be too much for you. Because some people can't handle embarrassment like that. Now watch another thing Ken Oforiata the closing down of banks. Who Ken Oforiata who buy Ghanaian banks. Ken Oforiata shut down all Ghanaian banks and they car onunkwani their data bank. That is how wicked Ken Oforiata is. And Nigerian banks, foreign banks, local banks, because they are in bed with the Nigerians. Because Bedio too is married to a Nigerian. Maybe to say Frontier, airport for COVID, Frontier company, they were a Nigerian company. So they were in bed with the Nigerians and they were doing business with the Nigerians. And so they shut down Ghanaian local banks, including Sedu Agongo's bank. Wow, very, very sad story. Young man, I decided he's going to leave a legacy. He's going to, build a bank that Onuko Oniwa. his name will be on it, say, no, no, founder of this bank. Now, more shenyamye papa ye she. Now, more geni license, moody na court, a punishing no very well. I show ni pepe. Would you do so? You say, because you are no foriata, you are too good to be prosecuted. Who the hell do you think you are? Who the unsaka abansika abansa bekao? There's nobody above the law. Nobody is above the law. And see wakata weni na wudi sika. When a new government comes, they would make sure say you are brought to book. And I believe that is why they wanted Bawumia to continue. They didn't want the NDC to come to power because they know say when NDC comes to power now, all this rot will be exposed, and that's what we are seeing. Can you imagine say NDC and power now Bawumia to aswa? Do you think the rot that has been uncovered by the oral team and by Attorney General's office and by the special look, when MPP was in power, Nanado was in power, the special prosecutor was like a friend is a poodle. He couldn't bite, he couldn't back. Papa ni Juma ufa Cecilia Dapa case no. Even before the special prosecutor started investigating Cecilia Dapa's case no, Nanado abe issue statement say, oh Cecilia, Mami Cici, don't worry, I shall vindicate. A friend is saying, I shall then vindicate you another. I will clear you. Mami can is simple.
Hello dear.
Hello dear. I will clear you. Don't worry. Emma, special prosecutor. Omochichiri nisa egunechi.
Love letters.
I love letters. Etro Mami Cici. What you are saying? And when MPP was in power, the special prosecutor was toothless. He was a toothless bulldog. He was just like there walking around, powerless. But now that they are out of power, he knows that this new government is willing to fight corruption, fight stealing, and bring people to book. It's what we say when a new form of fresh breath of life in him. Now he has some $10,000 and $100,000 classes. I don't know if I'm going to come and show us where he is. I'm over this kind of
Attorney General and special prosecutor.
Special prosecutor was like a toothless bulldog under MPP because Okoka na Oyejumani Rie na Nanado abekle and overrides whatever he has done. And I'm happy say the special prosecutor has now found his feet under this new government and he's now about to do his work. He should do it. Whoever has stolen money, whoever has involved or engaged in corruption should be brought to book. It should be brought to book. It doesn't matter where the person is hiding. Bring them down and let them come and face the music. Look, Mugabe, I was very pivotal in campaigning for this government to come to power. And on the grounds, some of the conditions that the past was to fight against corruption, and they told us, "Mami, mukoi, mo making sure say nkofo na omwewe skano, say ye beti nkofo atumuno yenye. Usha oral ba no, Ghanaians were very happy. Say for once, a government is coming that is going to fight corruption. So Ghanaians are looking up to us." One of the major things, apart from making sure, say, the economy is reset and their lives is, things are brought back to normal. No, apart from that part of their lives, Ghanaians are also looking up to us to ensure, say, monies that were stolen, taxpayers' monies, their monies that were stolen would be retrieved. People that engaged in corruption would be punished. People that engaged in financial loss, like the National Cathedral, would be punished. Maybe if I was saying La Polyclinic si ho enye shi na mako bubu La Polyclinic egu say mubesi fufro 8 years down the line La Polyclinic is still in rubbles. The people of La Teshi and surrounding areas na omoji ayaresa ewola polyclinic no. Now one hospital goes down, number of beds for sick people also goes down because this government did not build any hospital. They only demolished hospitals. That's what they did. And for me, Ken Ofori-Atta has a lot to answer. And if Ken Ofori-Atta feels that he's innocent or knows he's innocent, he should stop running and calm down. he should stop running and calm down.
Shut up.
Oh, as for Afenyo, my diagnosing the dada. Afenyo is struggling. He now has like a personality crisis, a position crisis. He is struggling to be relevant because it was under Afenyo that MPP lost from 237 seats. He lost to 88 seats. Inti Afenyo the oya no or the kata neni wosu or ferry. Inti he's covering up his shame. So he's trying to be pitch, jumping from one place to the other so that the grassroots will feel that, oh, Afenyo is trying. But Afenyo to me is only covering up his shame because as majority leader, he's not a micro-minority leader. And he can't stand it. He can't stand the fact that he's micro-minority. So they have now turned into the silly minority where... Silly minority where... The micro minority has now turned into silly minority where they are engaging in violence, bad language and stuff on live TV. We show the way omububu tables, omububu microphones. Exactly. Omububu microphones ninyama live on TV now. They were just being silly. So they are now a silly minority because they feel that what they lack in numbers, they can do so with violence and with loud mouth. And no more day, no. And it's says I girl, Fatima too, or whether the former information minister. Yes, you're saying the majority in parliament is quiet because Omunte Brofo. Madam, I don't blame you. I blame the majority. If the majority stops apologizing to the silly minority and stand up to them and don't allow the silly minority to bully them, I don't think people like you. I don't think people like you. But your friend is saying for my information is anything. Fatima too. And I pay you Okotina. One of the TV stations say na niti in the majority no hina na enti brofu madam. Hina na enti we have lawyers Haruna Idris wom Okujeto Pachoma Bidini bi Edem Agbana all the what's the name? Madam, what will say? Look, those men and women in parliament, madam, you are not even ready to polish your shoes. Exactly. This letter Jari trade minister, she is a lawyer. My own sister, my beautiful tourism minister, Abla, when Abla writes on her Facebook, she writes poetry. Can't cry. And how dare you, Haji Fatima, or whatever they call you, former information minister, coming to say, sorry for my language, it's a phone now, previously, say NDC can't read and write, you know. I see where it ended you. You see where NDC can read and write ended you. It ended you in opposition. It ended you in opposition. You are still following that stupidity, that buffoonery. You are still doing it. And saying majority. In conform we omukra PhDs, omukra masters, lawyers, omukra MBAs, omuye juma omuwa parliament. What now a TV so saying that's why they are quiet. They are quiet because they are decent. They are quiet because they are not silly like your micro minority. They are quiet because shouting will not get the job done. Making sure that they have the numbers and making sure that they read what's brought to them. That is what exactly. Renowned lawyers with long years at the bar. With long years at the bar. I don't blame her. I blame the majority that has been quiet and allows Afenyo and Bakunu Dompre to be shouting and breaking tables in parliament. I blame her. That's why she can open her buccal cavity or whatever they call it, her mouth wide, 360 degrees wide, and call our majority illiterate or whatever she wants to call them. How dare you, madam? How dare you?
And some so brofunti NDC with 187 majority is now in minority. Haja Fati. Oh, Haja. Oh, Obefi Hado. Oba so Obekasa fine. And so the way the Muslims are not trained to insult. And as a woman, why? What is wrong? Very well. You might have few minutes. Now, member a year and some more kind. And we say, yeah, Kasawa, yeah, can be beer, yeah, back, yeah, and some no with evidence. Said the bill be who said some more kind, you know, a papa and your papa. But, yana yemi mama say in cremosomuno oba in niatem. Oba in Kasasa. But I don't know. Once the Bianca say, so we any papa passa de ya na Kufado appointed one. We not jip position of Kufado now baby I say. Because in Kofobi be one me a credibility or more integrity a casa who be timid when Sashi JB Eddie and my bimo. And so we dear Kufado a chia na spirit and a foul. Someone in Kwana but Nina Yameti ase video near ready I will play it na obianso to me ehunia ekoso a ote yenuamba aye former ambassador to Czech Republic, former tourism minister, former information minister, SNC lawyer Zita Benson and Carlos and Nelson so joining in with her and I said I said common victory garlic mesa and also Dr. Mwako Ninsanu Nyuma Papa Nibi Moses Clinic and Eba Center Doc Bibiaba Cordia Safari Valley Eco Resort Power Specialist about Hospital Yafa said Mamuzu about clinic the Amuzu garlic bitters S natural mineral water and Yafa said I can see PSC power and so Emfa Hebron Hills International School Alistair Nelson Ebesha say ewo eye kanoforiata ensen sem no say I declare wanted say baby obi hu ni bia betimi ameden imeyanche no ye fa no emra na enye saa keke na and say adwuma mu ye ni na no mo fa bibi ento ho especially with the oral team ni ade no mo fa sika futu yubi futu obi nto ho say bia wo bia wo information bia de be ma omo ye be lead say betimi age o manager pade ABC wo ba ye nya wo sa kwa ye bibi ye de be ye de be ma wo papa ya ye hwehwe na ye huni amafo biwe wa America o mo pedi o mo bedi enu anu no kanfori ata wa wo nim ba bia wo hye no wo kira e bia $10,000 ni atam e de ama ye be huni ntem Alisa Nese no emu akwa aba na dia won sa ha o hey, what boss you to say?
John from a fire who say John Mahama Abano, who say 90 saying. I let buy power. I let Mugabe Maase. Ya buy any power.
Why you for too much?
Hey, Jam power from my name say the air of freedom.
Breeze in air
do this kakra. Now you feel confident that the following day will come and there'll be no trouble in government, there'll be no trouble in society. Wait more. Would you remember encounter say, yeah, there's a party like that. Look, we have to kill that spirit of property owning. Say, they don't have anything. They don't own anything. Their fathers are not rich. They enter politics under the guise of development and freedom. And then they come property owning. And then they use the opportunity they get to amass wealth and make it their own and call themselves rich men. We have to nip that thing in the bud. We have to stop the MPP from coming to power. I'm telling you. I see it. Look, we have to educate Ghanaians. The difference the NDC makes with that of the MPP. Look at how modest we have been in government, even in the first few days. Independence, you cry. Independence, you cry. I say, yes, celebrity or Jubilee House. This is the first time. Because you see Sika going around the regions, do you know the amount of money they spent? And who did did the people appreciate that rotational independence? Did they appreciate it? Please. Sir, it is Mugabe. But me wife, John Dramani Mahama, enemy Mami, Professor Nana Jane, Opoko Ajimai. I said, me boni in a vim. Or tell my day was University of Cape Coast. So I been to be a electricity. Baby, and if you listen well and you pay attention and you do your exercises, you also pick up and then you become intelligent one day. Mammy, baby, Missy J. She's a workaholic. The first woman vice chancellor of the University of Cape Coast. Cape Coast were noted for notoriety. If you want the university to go on demonstration, just call the University of Cape Coast. We'll come to the streets for you. I'm telling you, it's just a university of constant confusion. But with time, this woman, go and see how she has changed the place when she became vice chancellor. People were complaining, no bad, you're between vice chancellor. She changed the place. I'm saying go and see the university. It's now a university of constant choice. Obia percent the back of and no more law, more medicine. So even a Midas touch at the University of Cape Coast or my UCC first, they were too dependent on government. she made sure when she became vice chancellor that all the departments will find something to do in order to raise IGF to be able to take care of their first needs before they call out for support. Inti Mugabe, as in Papagana for we have the best pair, John Dramani Mahama and Professor Nana Jane Opokwajima, who are leading the affairs of this country. Because Omo Suda and Koduna Bonibi and more minor. What did they make and say? Yes, they are always wishing the country well. Omo Bompai say, and Kuala Mbebunu, Mayua, Obia Benya baby, Papa Jina, that the future that we see today as we sit here will be different by the time they leave power. Inti Mugabe, Umame Akwenya, ne enono. Na Nyoma Bebre Oha, Yenye, Wa Nitua. Though we have come and we are there, no, there are so many things we have to do, especially when it comes to institutional changes. Mugabe, baby, back when Hame, you're Ghana Water Limited. The way the place, I'm telling you, is being run. Yes, Okoho has bought chairman.
Yes, I call water. No,
water.
Oh, no, cause say, baby.
Water, no, cause say, ho, and all free hono. He planted Kewa Bebese in charge of finance, deputy managing director in charge of finance. Sa papa no sorry na pebia. Obetumia ye JM sa na diapon. He's still at post. Esi ekopamono. Then you have the deputy managing. Mugabe, deputy managing director in charge of operations. No, as I see, they are not in line. They are not in sync with JM's policy.
Listen.
Mugabe,
there are so many ways of killing a cat.
Yes, and I mean, I say the woman will tell her, Muta Wakilu now Abanu. And I mean, say Peter the VSA. Our contract. How does it stay on contract after 16 years? The amount of contract in your unity. You are to obey you. Why are you there? Deputy managing director special duties Onokasa Collins Niama Onokasa for Ntoma we're Johnny Friho. Why are the two of you also doing there? Institutional changes. Go to Ghana Immigration Service. You cannot go to the top floor. You dare not. Top floor, you cannot. Almost politicize it. Place it became so MPP.
It's on contract.
It's on contract.
It's still there.
Remember, we interdicted him in 2014. We interdicted him for the $1,000 he was taking from the Chinese people for giving them residence. He was interdicted in 2014. He was not cleared. 2017, Anado brought him to come and head the Ghana Immigration Service. Can you imagine? He was supposed to go on pension in 2022. They are there. There are many people there. He stifled them. And the DCOI, Asaribediakun, HR no one, Nitimude. Asaribediakun, Nitimude, henchman, on 5 amano, and almost send your man immigration. We say,
no, so lobby so person.
Oh, no, as a Wapamun Anado now de Baumiaba, Sana Bakakoyo. Clear them. There should be more institutional changes. Mugabe, go to electricity company. They need a new managing director. Me, I can give a hint. The government should go to compact energy and go and pick somebody from the compact energy and come and make him ECG head. I know I can mention the names. I can direct government to a good person who will come and manage ECG and change the fortunes there. It's Mugabe, Yaba, STC. Last time they buy for Noma. So STC, so Metro Mass, so Ayalolo Transport. If you go here, show, Ayalolo Transport. Hey, so say no man buses inside. As a manager, you has to be anywhere. They support everything. It's my sorry, Wakaya power. Yes, I'm saying that we must do things effectively to also support government. By the because Charlie things they say no matter you them you find to my I want to question American now share sabotage na cause water and sewage water regional ASM papa our regional manager ni the BI was in Accra Francis Lamte school make me actually in school in the na sorry on top water region unim say Ghana Water Limited omo bottling plant any sachet plant one no more soda Gin water they supply to ex-mineral to bottle it they give to Belaqua they give to Baltic. How come Gin water is not on the market? Oh, you can't 24-hour economy. That's why I'm saying that pond water, where we bottle and sachet our water, must be the first point of our 24-hour economy. Because there's free raw material, there's water there. All we need to do is to bottle it more and then push it into the market to compete on the water export market that will get more foreign exchange for this country. Charlie, we have to support JMO. Mugabe, me and you, we went to Kumasi, we went around the whole country to tell the people to vote for JM to come. We cannot sit at home and say that, oh, me, Yema Mugabe appointed Yema. Listen, no, we can appoint me myself. I've appointed myself. I'm the deputy CEO of the airwaves. I will not stop defending Mahama until he succeed. Deputy CEO of the airwaves. Hey, why that day? Me and my party have power. So I have to do many and varied things to make sure the party succeeds. So while the appointing authorities giving positions at the top, me to I'm a grassroots man. I will appoint myself and come and help the government to succeed. Yama will be posting Tina Debbie. last time obi anya afin so obi benya obi so nya nti ya wo ho na ya bo free na ye nim history na ye nim abakwasem no. It's not about money that they give to us. Fantastic. It's our government that has come. We have to make sure policy or they back.
Let's say Sikanti anka many umienu kibeko kuma. MPP for ni ejai.
What an American.
Yes.
Look, I'm saying there are so many things that they do. Women's development banking, what you say? If it comes, all the policies you have to make sure that the citizens enjoy.
That's about so listen.
First, no, I'm white and I want to make the party about I mean from like the freedom blow
evidence of good living.
Yes, the sign of good living. Every job, if it makes his name, I can sleep. Opa boni din se me that.
Without me that. Sleep well.
Ya bro, a yom, a trauma free power. They couldn't break the heat. No to me. Uja for Unyane. Kumasi Unyane. Oko we Johnny on some Unyane. We studio su. Kumasi so ba bebe. Abetaki obetumi. Also we Johnny. Omo na see if show mu nyoma mu na. The Oma Fabia say prayer back kukra no mo yes. Yes, back. Yes.
Very well. Nelson, senior political analyst, live on TV as well as also on Power 97.9 FM. Nchia kese nkoma mpanifua Sabri Majibre na mutie yen ewo. Jwele si udru Jubilee House wa umebia tumusi kuha ya enye asem ketu akura NDC eye party eye regional office ewo eye Kumasi minua eye regional treasurer enini team no mu nyina mabia tumo na kwasi ene mpanifo ni nyina no omobia atum ewo ho Marvin Norman monkoso mo adwuma megire se momi so ho ye wone ma ofilia mo nyina bibia boko. Dr. Siama, governor of the Bank of Ghana, osi woni team na me enhyiamo na momo adwuma pamfamwa na mom Ghana ye 2 cedi no de Kwame Nkrumah eda so no misra mo muntwa bibire mra Kufadu make sure say o de 2 cedi coin ebeba no abeyi ade bia Kwame Nkrumah eti wo so bia no obeyi ede free system no mo make sure say science kadada no 2 cedi note no mo be san ede aba ukura wa sunsum wo mpapa ensan emra ebiem na ansana mede LPM se no be maye na tifo ne ya na hwefo no yankoni ekotie ensema eye Haji Afate former information minister wode etudwa ede abufu pa bewura NDC yen echitafo ene yempenifo a omo emrahye bejafie no yenti Haji Afate se mo
say minority than a majority. Profunti crofo bre and this full soldiers no moon social media no so I am mredodo hey committee o mo ankasa paki o mo akogusu bebre o friend this MP no adane Aladdin o say na the table was in the city on say ngongo brofo basa ngongo hai say superstars ni so academy ye pure makogu e kire ho o mo hihye polls na chi say brofo adru sit down
Haji Afate boy as long as you come up victory garlic Mr. Nasuye eno victory ene ye kanfo dia ma ene awie dupa abadwa so a wunya bi na oboba ebo ni padua ni ye papa busi immune system no emeni padua no ejina ne na so brane ema wapomde no so ekoso ye ema moja so timidi ni padua no mafrisa ni ye kwasi bro ni beka se blood circulation eno ane se ubenya victory garlic Mr. ni bi na watumi anom ebebo ye papa victory garlic Mr. se wodi wani ekire shops awodo baby atoton no eba shops ne pharmacy awodo ni nyinema obenye bi ato okansi kenso okeba ho so betumi anya bi for doctor amwakon 0201 293280 0201 293280 ana 0242 545633 0242 545633 ofra victory Dr. Amwakon obeje so pharmacy shop bia bewram ewo Ghana ha no obenya bi ato ewo eho Medimoses clinic and eba center ono na efrey Medimoses se kan cho se ono so na so ye no di no bebri ena ba na so ye ho no bi a eye prostate na tete wo sexual weakness mema no male and female infertility hypertension diabetes sciatica typhoid fever na malaria stroke connected wo wo se no opese eja wo se semo kakra se wo ye whitening na na se bi a wo ye cleaning any ade nyina na wode ne kɔ na so yɛ hɔ a ɔbɛboa kama ma bibia so atimi akɔnkan ɛde ama wo na so yɛ hɔ no wɔde ɛyɛ medi ɛyɛ garlic capsules so ɛde aba wonya bia the only garlic capsules tie ya ɛwɔ Ghana no ɛno ɛne medi garlic capsules wonya bi na abobɔ a ɛbɛtimi aboa yie paa frɛ Medimosis on 0244 068447 0244 068447 wode wɔne kyerɛ dental barrier wɔne police station ɛdi ɛnhwɛ ne mu ɛwɔ AESL building inside the Ghana Highways Authority yard ɛwɔ Accra Ministries ɛgye kɔgye wɔne school for the deaf ne di hwɛ ne mu ne Kumasi ahenema kɔkɔbɛn ɛhɔ ɛna wobɛhu ɛyɛ Medimosis Clinic and Herbal Center Safari Valley Eco Resort sɛme nka nkyerɛ Safari asoyɛ no wobɛwura hɔ a ɛneɛ wɔ mo ɛwɔ ɛmmoa a wodu hɔ a w'ani bɛgye wo yie paa wildlife experience no wobɛnya bi na wɔfili deɛ a ɛno ane Safari Valley Eco Resort wɔn mo asoyɛ hɔ no ɛne woduru hɔ a jata ɛneɛ wohu antelope si zebra yi no mo kɔ no mo ɛba ɛfɛ kɛkɛkɛkɛkɛkɛ ɛno ane sɛ wodi w'ani ɛbɛkyerɛ n'asoyɛ hɔ sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a biribia nso ɛbɛtumi akɔnkan menua ɔsɛmpakani a wɔwɔ ɛyɛ Adesia FM ɛwɔ Kumase wɔsi muga safari hɔ mebɔwura hɔ no ma ho sɛ ɛhɔ deɛ ɛhɔ yɛ kama papaapa aberɛ bi a mɛba nkran ɛno ane sɛ mede m'ani kyerɛ bɛkyerɛ dew na meso makɔ Safari Valley Eco Resort na ɔsɛmpakani meso makɔ akɔkyɛle kakra ɛwɔ hɔ nti ɛhɔ ɛne baabi a mekamfa ama wo ɛnɛ awia yi wuduru ne hotel obowura dan mu no room so no yɛ kama ɛne bedsheet papa empɛ ɛnyɛ kwen sɛ maka kyerɛ sɛ birthday party kɛse bi ɛbɛba so ɛhɔ ne yɛ kɔ akɔkyele power ya bɛyi ɛhɔ ne yɛ kɔ akɔkyele ɛne ɔbɛhu sɛ ɛne chilling ɛne her excellency lawyer Zitabensi gyina Mugabe gyina Lisa gyina ne yɛ disi sabiko bi ana sɛ ne gya ɔno special aid no no so gyina kyɛ na Kevin Asante bugina to smile no no so filifa ho ɛne wuduru hɔ a ɛne kyɛ sɛ wada ma ade akye ho wɔne wodɔfo a wodɔ no papa ne hu sɛ wɔbɛ wo fili no ɛyɛ adwo akuya ama na wode na kɔ akɔhyɛ hɔ na ne mudi mpam agro wia ho makye no masɔre no ne masa akɔ akɔdware abom ewia na bɔ kakra ne ne swimming pool yi ɛne muto ma tɔngɔn swimming pool yi wo family no mu bɛkɔ nyinaa so no ɛnyɛ sɛ amasa nyinaa de mu kɔdware bi na akɔ akɔdware mu wuduru hɔ a ɛno swimming pool ne family no mu wɔ deɛ ɛne wuduru hɔ a muto nsuo mu tɔngɔn ne wawie no ɛwɔ sɛ wotumi ɛsan yɛ gym ɛka ho exercise there is good for the brain and the body nti ɛno ansɛ nipa exercise adeɛ ɛyɛ very very important ɛde ma nipadua no na wasan exercise ayɛ dɛ aka ho wawie no sɛ wo sɛ wodidi nnuane nso yɛ several local and continental dishes ɛwɔ hɔ aduane bi a wopɛ bia no yɛbɛma wo bi ɛdi daw ɛne ɛwɔ eastern region frɛ na wo ne safari fo nkasa on 059-691-4394 059-691-4394 wofra safari ɔmo ɛbɛgye wo so Power Specialist about Hospital NRF was a man cancer. Yamami, hepatitis A, B, C, D, yini beneted to a fatty liver, a sciatica, prostate problem, broken bones, and answer or sarcompo fibroid. Nina Safabran Asuyo, and the old one nature and Asuyo. Yadia, Mabo Dina, Babuao, no to me, and Yawa Quanche, Ama was what to me, and Yahoto. Would one nature a Comasi, your for Yasilik Bosonche, a year Quantanase. Quantimpono so ho and I'll be any just filling station and a day and Shenimu Accra House your Quabenya Poquasi Quantimpono so and Atakra de Suyo Anaji Estate Yene Anaji Emmy Primary School Bohuyepa Fema me was 0244544422 now Power Specialist about Hospital Bejo so number Nibium 0244544422 Ofra Obejo so Amuzu Aba Clinic or the Amuzu Garlic Bitters and the diabetes so and an airboy improve air blood circulation, reduce air cholesterol and a sign control urine flow, a boy support the pancreas and a sign reduce high blood pressure and minimize the high sugar level. When you be now boba, a bit to me abu ye papa Amuzu Garlic Bitters and manum memanum nemono unfini dear me confess be when you fear by doing what you can and what me we are praying for stay away now be biaso intimate and kind enfa amount for 0247776743 0247776743 ofra Amuzu Garlic Bitters obejo so amabibia so atumi akonkan daddy washing bay media one me mama obaya omotenwo den dia omo so omo hwe omo ba enye asem ketua kura sanso ena immigration man and tanku ene atenka omo so eta ho kodwo omo ta ho den ability ene eye benwood he omo so eta so den na kwame akonta number 1 omo nyina se muga kajanugum na Ghana nyina 8 hey dumsane de mo be steady eye sabotage nsama misiji for mo be steady no matoto mo ne meyi yet now Emma ya wapa wana yet said your opposition to near me appointees for no be anya ne juma kama said ye emfa ho asem bia ma media de wasem ba dia hey obi ka se poduosi ye bedejo make sure so betoto office wo yie obi obeba ho bia no obewo kamo ne kama ahomaso eni dwe hantan John Mahama wo hwe abla wo si okọ ofri eye okọ Addis Ababa omukoja no kwan kura no wo se no abujulo zabe ode ne sagu na chi penifo nyina respect no eye adwuma enti se nyame adom se wo ka system ministers no ho a divine selection no akanwa no abra ho ase de eye adwuma ye do akwasa office bia bo wo mode na eye adwuma ne metana ne mo wabaso se wodwumadie efe na obeye ho se obeye dwe a hey I me office you and ye memfa nchew gumbe ni die ejanu mejaya gum ejaya gum. You say if persuasion fails, force must be hot applied. Very well. Well, mameko Alisa Sona on Kenoforiata issue no. Fakakrana fe member SLSA lawyers itabenson so na fe yen call your next topic about ghost names no. Akomo yakron for their thieves. Some betimi di edima akomako over 14,000 e de agum ni etu omoka ebi kwa ye Kenya for din e sese register 72 years criminals 72-year-old man oya national service na we yachima afa ona na bi omo atete huapia woto so sa na wo keka nsem fo hwe mukaza jomama memo ne eye first one bi ana second coming of jomama ne de wanya land ne de wo bua wo wudi sia ye betwa yebe make sure say yebe bo aban no ho ban kama ne kunimdia aye odia SYZ broadcast ye gine na so brutal
Mugabe
Alisa fire
Kenoforiata no ono ye wo no fitini kwala breme no a sly guy or a sly you see his father didn't acknowledge him. Yes, his father didn't acknowledge, so he grew up with some pain. He had to go and stay in the home of Chief Justice Eninyeboa because the mother was married to Eninyeboa's father, so he grew up with Eninyeboa. Yes, Eninyeboa angasa ni suban te sen maybe sao ni suban the same maybe sao yamfa asema nto no so obeyi ni ho ano yamfa asema nto no so obeyi ni ho ano ansa na okopa
momo jelian
o kan bi no no ti panel no so sa je na e ko ne nkan ho asema esa meyi ano e na make say onu Eninyeboa no. That's why the same birds of the same feather ni suban any Ojafo Suban, the same thing. I have the 2019 copy of the African Watch magazine by Steve Mallory. Yeah. He was ringing the bell telling Ghanaians, say, yeah, boy. Most of us don't even buy the African Watch magazine to read what is inside. Steve Mallory, in that magazine, book, that sly character, going to Achimota School, found a way through the SEO, the CSO, Occupy Ghana, came on national television. He was in women's suit and a body suit. Yes, telling everybody that he had Waboduku, that he had the knowledge. Yes, I wish they could show it, that he had the knowledge to come in and Midas touch to come and solve Ghana's economic problem. At the time he was saying these things, I was remembering how he had given money through a good time. The man is for Muma is casting could provide the diamond. Look at him in picture. Mugabe, Mumfan to air. Onunie, he came as an intelligent guy. Occupy Ghana. Yes, Occupy Ghana came very intelligent. So no the solve Ghana problem. Kasaboko. Ghanaian said this guy was bright, was intelligent. Yes, no, but you know, he failed his economics in Achimota School at the A level. He failed it. So how could he? I'm telling you, his records are there. So how could he in future go to America and then become an investment banker? America, they went to me the O level, FLA level, no, went to me the O level, Krakow school. Then he became an investment banker with Salomon Brothers. But you can go back and check his record. When Salomon Brothers even sent him to Greece, go and check what he did there. Athens, and why they withdrew him back. Such a guy. He came to Accra with Kelly Gajeko, his friend, to come and form Data Bank. They didn't have money. They had to borrow $20,000 from Kelly Gadgetpo's father. They didn't pay until the old man died. I'm saying with authority. Wherever I can Ofurata is, he should come and catch me and take me to court if you can come here.
Yes, was it in Kamu?
But me ought to be because he's gone for good. So this is a guy, apart from Kelly Gadgetpo, he brought Yofi Grant, his friend from Data Bank. He worked with them at Data Bank. They didn't have anything. They were at Tatamanton. Every day they were praying, to 12 o'clock to entice the population. At the time, the charismatic movement was rising in Ghana. So they managed to come along and convince them, not Teotabo, sorry, dynamic front row, not yet godly. You understand? Yes, Nankofo Jinidi. He was in sync with the church. So then church people who were working in the bank and other things, they gave him their money. 30 years time, Data Bank will give you investments. I want to ask one person in Ghana whether they received anything from Data Bank after all the investments they did with them. I want to know. Anybody who gave his money to Data Bank, yes, it was a Ponzi scheme they came to run. All of them, Kelly Gadgetpo, Yofi Grant, Reverend Obami Tete, Albert and Comforto Kran, then he himself, Kenny Furata. Then his 3 legal officers in Data Bank, he brought all of them to come and superimpose them on the economy. Dia to me, the lady who came to the SIC is from Enterprise Insurance. Yes, no offer say no. No offer say free enterprise said they need by SIC. They came to superimpose the economy to destroy it. They have nothing good coming into Ghana's coming to occupy the economy.
This is serious.
Yes. I was saying it from the beginning. Look, now that he has run away, I would advise you people go and catch Angelina Ofuriata, arrest the wife, arrest Kelly Gadgetpo, catch Albert and Comfortokran, go and catch them in church. You see them in Notable's church, catch them. There's nothing wrong. Mugabe BNI Chimida. BNI Amfrey from Anapa to in the name of interrogation. Yes, so what is interrogation? If you have been given the opportunity to come and serve the public and you have been called to come and answer for your why, what is it? Why are you running away? What have you done? Why are you hiding behind sickness if you have not done anything bad? Why in the name of sickness? You'll be talking about death rather.
You can run.
Yeah, that's what's spending me. And they were but I'm saying he has accomplices that he came to superimpose himself on this economy with, and we must hold them. They are around. Kelly Gadgetpo, let's write to the international community to stop them from traveling and moving into their countries. Trump there or no to the telephone. Ghana's ambassador to America should call them and give them pictures right now. Kelly Gadgetpo, America, they should bring all of them down.
They say that
they are still there. They are still there. But there are some good people, Mugabe. There are some good people who are ambassadors who are there. I will mention one person's name to you. And I wish Okujeto will go and bring that man from where he used to come and head the passport office in Ridge. And come because Mugabe. Until you let me finish with Ken. As for Ken, I will hold his tail. Baby, will be me. I want him to take me to court. Yes. Do you know where he's hiding? It's either in Namibia or Botswana. Hey, yes. When they steal the money, they find a way, safe haven. A country that they will disguise, you don't know them, and go and settle there.
Why are you not mentioning Guyana?
Guyana, because some time back they were trying to take our money to the.
They bought oil fields in Guyana.
Yes,
that's where they are now. I know Gabi has invested in Guyana.
Yeah.
They've used our money to buy oil
and
fields.
Even more elections in there.
Yes. Yeah. So Gabi, when you see him on the island chilling, he's in Guyana with our money.
But you have to arrest them. We have to bring them in. I don't need a big giant man. What pains me is that you see Mugabe. They kuma krani sa inkrofona na muka no muka kenufurata hono Georgianda binu Georgianda. I went to Achimota school with you. You were Daniel Commando. I saw you in politics and the kind of things you're doing. You see your reward today. Today you have run away, you Georgianda. You have run away. You have written your book. The kind of things you saw when you got to Donado's government, you learnt your lesson. Look at your big head. When you entered the government, you didn't know your head was big. Yes, I'm telling you, I'm not afraid of him. Although he was school, he was Daniel Prefect and knocking people about. Donado's government knocked him out.
Yes.
So then you look at somebody like yes, it's Sankuma, whether it's HIV, AIDS or what, I don't know. No. What's the spelling of the name? Is it
ACE?
I thought it was AIDS.
No.
Because it looks it. All these people, they came.
What is the meaning of that?
They came to insult JM and they came to power. What did they do?
Well, take the attacks out.
No, they are annoying. It's annoying that the man has run away.
Take it
but Johnny,
deal with the issue.
Why has he run away? If it's a man, he calls himself Kenny Fred. Why is he speaking to him? They should arrest Afenyo. He knows where he is. They should arrest him. He himself, he has become a rich man, not knowing how he got his money. He that Afenyo marking. Somebody catch us or damn me from more university. He pets me at the university. I told you. He ran away. He didn't finish his course. I told you. How did he get money? He said by 21 years he had land. Where did he get the money from? Or he was the one who propped him up. Excel Ghana. They gave him contract, small boy, then asked a bank to give him loan, $5.8 million. He has not paid up until now. He owes the Standard Chartered Bank. He owes them 3.8.
I take that one out.
Oh, it's all over. Can't you see? Social, go to the bank and go and find out. He has not paid.
Allegedly.
Okay, you put it that because of your station, I don't want to put in the trouble. Fantastic. But Mr. Tyro Nelson, I know him so well. He cannot call himself a rich man. His father, when his father was coming from Nkonya to Winneba, he didn't carry riches. He was a carpenter who came to Winneba to come and settle. He should behave and be simple like a carpenter's son. Let us tell them where they belong to. You see, they get on our nerves sometimes, so you don't see it. They come to power under the guise of property owning. They don't have anything. They don't have anything. They enter government, they come and steal and become rich.
Let me come in here. Was it right for the majority leader to apologize to, the House about?
Do you know why I keep quiet about this thing? The party has a political committee, and there are elders in the political committee, and they direct as to what should go on where in the House. Yes. Okay. So if you say, Mama, if you hold him, you have not held him. You are holding the whole party. He took a decision on behalf of the party. You can go get close to him. He didn't apologize in his person. He apologized as a political party. So take that one from you. Do know Mama Yaiga? You do know him? Sure. Yeah, please. Very well. He's a staunch person. Please. It's Mugabe. Akwanu. Trump Sikano offense Sikana on Franco Tuna bank account or bet this guy in the offer C4 or bet investments 1 or 2 over there, you see it. So this guy, we have to find a way to arrest the people around him. Yes, yeah, Bank of Ghana. No institutional changes now affecting not that so no money. You understand? You see, so Mugabe look, John Soforiata, which is Ken Oforiata's father, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. All of them, they celebrated in 1979, 16 June, when a champion was shot. They drank wine, they drank beer. I know somebody who was close to their families at the time, how they celebrated when a champion was shot. Why was a champion shot? What did a champion do? I'm asking Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. What did a champion do? A champion didn't run away. He was in his home village in Trabom when he heard his name on news. Say yes, that he was being wanted in Accra as a soldier. He came to Accra with confidence to answer his accusers that he had done nothing. Why is Ken Oforiata, son of John Oforiata, who celebrated in 1979 when a champion was shot? Why is his son running away under the guise of being sick? He should come and face his accusers. He should come here. Who can say, who against you? Ghana Revenue Authority cannot stand on its own and collect revenue. You have to bring your SMLU, your private company. It's more efficient than the state structure that is there collecting tax.
Very
you
well.
Think you are wiser than us? Mugabe, maybe you won't come again, you disguise and then you change his face and the money you are stolen. That's the agenda with which he came to power. You see, can you be proud when you are another
former appointees need now more questions to answer. No?
Mugabe, they will run. If you don't take it, they will run. They will run.
He has to stop them.
How are you going to stop them? They'll pass through to go and go. They will run one by one. All right, I say no, say where?
You just say about Papa that so educated Ghana gas.
Say last me the pay you send you say he's still at post. I don't know whether he has been sacked or is there. Anyway, can institutional changes. Look, do you know what Osafo did? He even
back Jomama betimi akobabi ase we munyi.
You have to call a people's forum at the workplace. We know our people know themselves. For instance, if you go to the Ghana Immigration Service, we have to call a workers' soiree and call those people who were suppressed and sack those people on the top floor and ask them to name their leader amongst themselves. Go and head the place. Look, Siga, the heads of department, I have their names here. All of them, they used to insult JM. They go for a meeting and they'll be insulting John Mahama. Today, Mahama has come, he has sent Pesa White there. They are still sitting with Pesa White. But Pesa White can't be here, bomb to it. In can message by you, Manibo Amano, Ninke, bomb to it. In can message in you, Manibo Amano, Ninke Habo, yes, Siga. in your informant here inside who is prepared to meet you and give information on SIGA. Don't lose guard. If you lose guard, don't even poison your water. All the people surrounding you at SIGA are MPP people, have pictures, have evidence. Don't go to SIGA and go and trust those people you are rolling with. The heads of department, all of them, they are poisoned by Nanado Danko Akufado. Stay away from them. They are dangerous people.
Very well. Live on TV as well as on Power 97.9 FM, Northern Regional Capital Tamale. We are live on Kesmi 107.1 FM, Bole in the Savannah region, in Kiligi FM Y in the Upper West region. We are live on WFM Boko in the Upper East region, Source 100.1 FM, Pusiga, Wingpang Sampa, Wende FM, Zas FM, Zebela, all in the Upper East region of the Republic of Ghana, Vuta regional capital Ho. We are live on Global 105.1 FM, Uti region, KFM Pasa, New Asset 9.7 FM, Kete Krache, and Boom FM, J Asekan, half regional capital Goso Nananum, 92.5 FM, Duno FM Sankori, Buno region, Tiny 90.9 FM Soko, and Suma FM Nkra Nkwantam. Why? Her Excellency, lawyers it have been said. I go now you do. Oh, credit if you are in credit,
Fire, a wall list of yes, more fire. Fire, papa. Just say my God brother has spoken like a typical true Gama. Like a typical true man. Yeah, he said it all.
Yeah, very well. Said it all. Oh, say, I like what chief of staff.
Yeah.
Now saying yeah. Say when him say when your appointment with Jumome Fowl after 7 December a year 2024 elections. Who are you?
Mugabe, tie, me and Kasawaho. I made a post some time back. I agree with what he's saying. I don't know why some people are still at post. Wouldn't say position there the amount a political position. Me say you lose the 2016 election. Now me were Prague. Yes, where
Czech Republic.
Yes, where Nanado in pet and I me told me ticket getting me Chema. I have some dignity in me.
Yes.
Me Chema embasa keme. And I Mrs. Samin Kuku Nankaka member.
Away bus.
And I fee ho near call your buy fee. Wouldn't say you have lost the election. The law says, the transitional law says that as chief executives, your term ends when your whoever appointed you
authority
leaves. Mm-hmm. So why so I will take for instance the case of the SIC. Mm-hmm. That arrogant woman.
Oh.
That position is not yours. What was her name? I forgot. Something like that. Something like that. Not Stella. Something like that. Hamster or something like that.
Hollister.
She
was in Networker School. I know her.
Yes. Stuck up woman. Yeah, you have been fired. You see, so what Hollister didn't know was that she lost her job on the 7th. On the 9th of December. I declare President Mahama president. You know, Hollister, you lost your job. Because the terms of conditions of your job, when your appointing authority leaves, you have to collect all your kukunankaka and follow him. So, if you had any dignity in you as a woman, and as a lawyer, you shouldn't have stayed there and brought upon yourself the embarrassment with which you brought yourself. And later on, I heard there were more of them. There's still some more of them. There's still some more of them. Our more train say President Besaki. Charlie, have some dignity, pack your things and leave. Because no, look, we in Tatia, you're very replaceable. Because our people, we were in opposition for 8 years. 8 years. You see, you people didn't even treat us nicely. And I have seen some people.
So I
have seen some people saying that Domama must be impeached because he's sacking workers. Hey. What didn't happen? Well, then the NC in 2017, they sacked all NDC. No, I won't say NDC. They sacked all workers who were within the last quarter of 2016 who were employed. They sacked everybody. So we are following precedents. We are following. So stop crying. You are crying too much. we have just 1 month. We are just 1 month into our 4-year term. Yendru baby how I friend na go na start. Mo sundodo mo kasa dodo. Munu munsio no way. But your mama munsio way. Obedient no way. One me. Okay, mama bottle no. Person me advert mama boss. Mo fancy way di wa ho. Na mo no. Say, mutomobo. Na ex natural mineral water. Then cut down. Calm down. We have how many more months to go? We have like 4 years. You're saying 48. In 81, we have 47 months to go. It's a very long time in opposition. We were there for 8 years. It's very long. You see, don't spoil your energy. Reserve the energy. Relax. Skana mweriano no mutu mubuna mundi ni kakranka because sika ete say I want taba elesa ete mutu mubu because yema boyedi mutu mubu na munu munsio na mu talking too much. MPP4 you are talking too much. Na bi anya kese kwa. You are talking too much. Enti nkofo na yesi omunkot na fie no. We are following precedent. You set the pace, we are following you. It happened. Our people were sent home. People who had been employed into the service were all sent home. You have blue blood running through you, whilst we have red, and vice versa. We are all Ghanaians. Do the right thing. When you set the correct precedent, even when you are not in power, things will be done right. And apart from that, Mugabe, these are people who don't even believe in the vision of John Mahama. They were making mockery of 24-hour economy. Yes. They said reset means taking you back. They said review SHS means cancelling. So if you see people don't have any dignity, like I said, you don't have any sense of shame. You don't believe in John Mahama's policies. What are you still at post for? Leave. Go and work for something that you believe in, because John Mahama's reset agenda hasn't changed. He is resetting the economy. He is going to reset Ghana. He is going to review SHS. The committee has already been set into motion, and they are going to have a look at not just SHS, our educational system. If you don't believe in John Mahama's policies, vision, dreams, leave and stop talking. And those of you who are saying you want to impeach, we have 188. Go. We are welcome. Run and get there. Some will say and that girl, I'm coming back to her again. I recall that if there's a MP on Tibrofo, no, it came from them. Amase. Was Amase not MPP? Was Amase, and with all due respect to Amase, yes, my water is here. Drink some X water and calm down. Amase from Akwetia, hairdresser. She couldn't speak a word of English. She was of MPP origin. Hadia Fati, what's the name again? I've always forget. Fati or whatever you call yourself. If there are MPs who can speak English, I will give you a typical example. One was from your stock, Hadia Fati of Akwetia. With all due respect to her, she worked hard and she found her way, even though she found her way into parliament, even though she was a hairdresser. So I kudos to her for that. But you can't come and insult people, because you have ebi wo mufie. Eti Mugabe, the American say, Sakeno, Joma, fish out the people who do not believe in, because pen conform ubetwitwa 9 you are supposed to fish them out, and if you have to move them around. I mean, if they are civil service, obviously you can't. But you have if they are in the forefront of the agenda, and you know that. With the reset agenda, these people are going to pull us back. Move them from the forefront. And you are not going to sack them because they are civil servants. So move them from the forefront, put them in the back bench, give them a desk to sit behind, and bring your people to the forefront to help John Mahama achieve his reset agenda. Otherwise, 4 years will come in no time. 4 years, it will come in the twinkle of an eye. We don't even have time for honeymoon. So these people must go, do reshuffle ASAP, move them to the backbench, bring people who believe in the reset agenda, and let them push John Mahama's agenda forward. Now, coming to National Service Secretariat, ghost names. I mean, it's a shame. 81,000 plus names, almost 82,000 names, ghost names. Na mu hwia sa na hwia de kind of do etonye. I mean, I don't know what is with MPP and stealing. MPP and stealing, they are like twins. You can't they're like Siamese twins. You can't separate them. when you separate MPP and stealing, that's once the stomach will cut or the leg will cut or there will be one. They are like, you can't. They're inseparable. MPP and stealing. She baby or margin call. MPP and they are like Spon Haji. They go hand in hand.
Fantastic.
80 almost 82,000 names. Mugabe, do you know how much? I think they are paid like almost 800 cedis a month. So multiply 800 cedis times 82,000 names times.
Unless I do that calculation.
Times the number of months and see the extent of the stealing. I don't know why they have not been arrested. There were 3 directors there. Nanabi, Bakubino, Mustafa Yusuf, and then my friend Gifty Owari. However, Gifty Owari's name is the only one trending. I don't know why she's the only one trending, because there were 3 of them who did the stealing. Obviously, it was teamwork, because I don't think Gifty Owari did it by herself. So why is Gifty Owari's name alone trending? Why is Nanabi's name quiet in it, and Nanabi has the audacity to be holding press conferences and disrespecting John Mahama, when Nanabi by now should be in NIB cells telling us where he got the ghost names from? Nanabi should be arrested.
Answering questions by now.
Nanabi should be arrested. Tell us where the ghost names came from. Look, a Kenyan, he's not even Ghanaian. A Kenyan's photo was found in the list.
72 years.
A 72-year-old man was found in the list for national service. When these national service personnel, they were there, their allowance was not even coming. They were not even being paid. It was recently that we took over that, the mama released some money and the directors were able to pay them their allowances. Yet you had these greedy young people, greedy 3 directors, Nanabi, Gifty Owari, and Yusuf Mustafa, collecting
corrupt sports minister,
collecting 81,000 salaries of our taxes. Of course, a month.
The average is 648,000 a month.
So imagine how much they were making.
Yes, if you go by 12, we are talking about.
Meanwhile, what's his name? Baumia came and told us that with his digitization, he has been able to get rid of ghost names. So you see, when we told you that Baumia is a liar, you didn't believe us.
The ghosts were being transferred to the National Service Authority.
Exactly. And look, I entreat every CEO to do this kind of audit, head count, because for all you know, it is not just the national service that we have ghosts collecting salaries.
Only one is
yes,
what about others?
And you see, they piled a lot of taxes on us because they said we could not raise revenue for government. And we even went to IMF before because we were unable to raise revenue for government. Yet we had a leakage of revenue. 3 people were stealing every month. They were stealing about 700,000 Ghana cedis from the taxpayers. Yes. So they did not respect anybody because the money was coming nyafu into their pockets. Omumbushi. And they were flaunting it. And I can also tell you for a fact that MPP members are rooting that these 3 should be arrested. So those in charge, if you don't arrest these 3 and declare them wanted, most of them have run away. They've gone abroad. They are in the US, they are in the UK. If you don't declare them wanted and arrest them to come and prove, show us where the money is, eventually they will even come and maybe when water goes under the bridge, these people, they have no shame. They will come and say that, NDC2 almost nyampa. Very well. And even come and deny it. So I say prekonam you have the evidence that these people have stolen 81,000 salaries, ghost names. They have stolen monies belonging to the state. This is the time to arrest them. Put Nanabi, go and get Nanabi. Now Mike no teach. Mike no teach. To be. I na yefa ninko shim.
Very well.
No losing weight kakra.
When we say Oko National Lottery, KGL. It's all KGL. Lottery with KGL. platform a yɛde ma ɔmo no ɔmo nko na wɔ saa platform no other companies nyinaa yɛma obi abi. The owner of that business no a board member ɛwɔ Akufo-Addo's administration. NDC is, I mean, we are in power, but the man is still holding on to that contract na onyaye no. So yempanifo no mummi moni enko national lotteries we ye pa na mo hwehwe nkratam se ye chede ye nchemu bia na bia anya den enye bi nkofo de tifio ano mo making millions of cedis on daily basis. Mame mo a national security coordinator abaso moyan for Osman DCOP we are said bia me catch for 8 good years ya man promotion that in the police service ya to abawie ya MPP lusu ya na piano free ACP e dey call DCOP ene we national security coordinator. National security coordinator and CDS reported to him. IGP reported to him. And son wano anopabia wama president anopabia wama ni briefing. Inti biasi winya position ho enfans wa woni namunim se bia sa papa ya fa ne se Osman no namunim se mu piana ya dan ahyew enne wo so wo soro we DCOP nso anopabia o the report be man yo kofo bi wo ha. We don't need to mention their names. It was an officer almost no. Omo resign no moko. Man train my me pamo. The pamini the head ya e be ba beto. And you move inside your mama wonim the oyana. Your mama munim say wonim the oyana. Officer na what here. Uni sa na na do na appoint we do bet na wa. Wa be ye ne djuma ma na wi. Woni ne mapon. Iti wa sesa gugu no kaka na ko. Entwe say ya fa letembra hey Dr. Kalisto Sune fa le squatcho for so sire omu mutire o mo betwere sisi a enda wono abujulo zebra wo betwere sisi a ame ko alisa so fa kakra be ka ho on the ghost names na fe ya wrap up
yo Mugabe me de me ka che Ghana for mu yi mani Africa no for after so on ba bio enya de obeba Ghana bio ai na John Jina Pokai no odi ne ho akamura otilo wagibam ya gudu sa voice we nyina we de wa dwane o yeswi ya hu no mu na nya na esizi omo property ni enjen che keligaje pemu esizi data bank enterprise insurance travel Ghana ni partners omo wo ha yenti chiomo mu nko chiom hey chale tu na
go na court ni eje ne bank se wo wasem wo na kale over another no ohumi yes
I don't know silicon economy please he's nobody I see on babium let's seize these things cause he say obeba mon chichire de eye ne mrebo pa abema na frito kro num aba mon kan tse Trump nso mu hu om so mo na America ho amom Mugabe onu na be meeting din kra na me boafu oh yes so me catch it because his father was a humble person. His father was watching mattress, very humble person. It was a champion who made his father to become somebody under the auspices of helping Ghanaians to attain the economic heights, you know, of the economy, that Ghanaians will take the commanding heights of the economy. His father decided to support industrialists at the time. No a mattress or a foam, spring room, or that's what you say, come on. Now, the bucket way there, me who baby or super free. Ni papa no me ni bro. And go a buying funny sika and support no. But we are quite away do ni bre na me who be da. Na ni bre no a brun so. Look at what he has done. And he's walking around doing press conferences. How? On no ko boss ami jamfino. And you know, on no sami jamfino no afa bicycle. I no born who afa bicycle who mo say press conference. Who dey say dey about hey, who dey we meja
please.
Mugabe.
No,
yeah, see about my two film so be obi dey about ko born e be ka say me. It would dey my year free. Onu ponu I don't want to see men America no. She gift kunedu oware ana yes I know friend. Ena sports minister no
Mustafa Yusuf ena osesibe
se be catch Mustafa no there he was a stooge for Osafumafo. Osafumafo ne wine it is alokoto.
No, but Mustafa Yusuf, no, is it not the same under him as sports minister?
$15
million.
Yes,
every year watch, you know, 4.5 million. Every year ID cards, marginal. Why is the guy working free?
That's what I'm saying.
He needs to come and account for all those money. So he just didn't steal from the sports ministry. He also stole from the national service. He's a professional thief.
No, his
NIB should be interrogating him.
His godfather loves money, so he uses him to go and bring the money.
Yeah.
And then you to know now
Mustafa.
Now they think gong. No.
Go on.
They have to arrest them. Nana B, the Kunedu girl, and they have to arrest them. We have to write to the international community. We have to go to the American embassy.
Seize their passport.
And then so that they seize their passport. Go to the Australian embassy and the Canadian embassy. Nana B ope Canada kopa. Mumma odu ayen chino. National service. Do you know the intention of the formation of the national service in 1972? Hey, Kutu Achampon, may your soul rest in peace. When Kwalawe nyina ba national service mu wo Achampon ye bo tu ba sen Kwalawe nyina national service o mo be fam o mo wie sika ye bodi a wo wada we bia wo ye no kra wo be sa ewuri e wo grave mu. Look at the money we are talking about, 8.4 million in a year. But the scanning again. Nana B, what are you using the money for? Small boy like you. Aden,
yes, all the scanning my lawyer ladies.
What? Do you know why they set up the national service?
Not the lawyer ladies. Lawyer ladies of MPP.
Every Mugabe Ghana. Bibiana ko fa esika. Bibiana obi ewia esika. Obi ko fa brother 2 pe. Ese on ko 25 years. Obi depend. Obi wia esika $25 million, $30 million. Nanu to be nchino. O my be ni yo no. We have to find a way so that obi ko wia banchi no be 10 years. Obisu we are my sika 1 million. Only soon 100 years. So that the hammer of justice will be fair.
Very well.
To suit everybody.
Let us say Alessa Tyrone Nelson for your time, Mother, Her Excellency, Lawyer Zita Benson, former Tourism Minister, former Information Minister, and former Ambassador to Czech Republic, Madam Munina Ase, Majama Osu, a year day markets also, and Antia, and Yenuanum Yamamo, more market Munina, Nache, Minuaba Mili, Oboshi, Yachacha Munina Usufo, and Minuaba Grace, and Ura Lumba, and the Munina Ase. Mompai bomo mu bibie mu da munyina ase mitimi fa the sweet mother ase dan so eni sweet mother baby a wo bia ncha kese onkoma ya maami Anita de susu osu ewiei ya chia wo saa so na former appointees ene mu amuwo mu wo a wo de aba wo a wo de maye ni nyina ye mpaibo na ye fa odo kro ye en support His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ne nkunimdie no emra bibia ya abotre montwen John Dramani Mahama nimdie oye yenya bibia emma no said the Ghana for nya gidie to abade ma no saa na obema Ghana edi eyiye. My good brother so Dominic oni abusu ani nyina ewo Kumase greetings yede mu besi ha na Madins asida kese so de ma Fosina Nelson mama nyame enhira wo ye papa na wonye okese ono abusu do agongo greetings Mugabe Maase ni midin oba de ne dom ye ne etenkwama ochina yebehia